Hello guys, welcome back to Sleepy Chronicles. Tonight, as the day slowly fades behind the hills of memory, we begin a gentle journey into a world without clocks, without electricity, and without the noisy distractions of modern life. A world wrapped in silence, ruled by the stars, and cradled by the rhythms of nature, the Stone Age night. Close your eyes, let the calm settle in, let your thoughts soften, like smoke curling into the evening sky, and imagine the sun dips low beyond the wild horizon. There are no cities, no lights, no ticking clocks. Only the quiet hush of wind through trees, and the slow awareness that night has returned once again. The Stone Age, a time so far removed from our present that it feels like a distant dream. But for our ancestors, it was all they knew. Life moved with the rise and fall of the sun, and night was not just an absence of light, it was a presence, a companion, a force both comforting and strange. So what did they do when the sun vanished? Let us travel together, not with our feet, but with our imaginations, into a small clearing at the edge of a forest. The air is cool now. The sky above is slowly turning from gold to deep blue. All around you, the world is slowing down. In this camp, there is no fire just yet. Not every group had mastered it. The ones who did used it with care, with reverence, and those who hadn't, they depended on the warmth of animal skins and the closeness of others. A few figures moved through the dim light, adults, returning from a long day of gathering roots and berries, perhaps even hunting. Their movements are slow, deliberate, almost silent. No one rushes. There is no reason to. The day's work is done. The sun has left the sky, and a blanket of darkness gently settles over the land. The sounds of birds have faded, replaced by distant howls and the soft crackling of leaves. A group of children sits in a circle near a fallen tree, their legs tucked under them, their eyes wide with sleep and curiosity. One of the elders, an old woman with deep lines etched in her face like maps of ancient stories, begins to speak. Her voice is low, rhythmic, steady like the beating of a drum beneath the earth. She doesn't raise her voice. She doesn't need to. In this world, everyone listens. She tells a tale, perhaps of a great hunt, or a spirit that lived in the river, or the time the moon disappeared for 3 nights and the stars refused to speak. The children listen, their eyes following the shapes of her hands in the dark. This is their entertainment, their television, their bedtime story, and slowly as her voice continues, their bodies soften. Heads begin to rest on shoulders, fingers curl into warmth, and sleep starts its quiet descent. Nearby, the adults prepare for night. Some chew on dried roots, others quietly mend tools. There is no urgency. Time does not exist as it does for us. There are no alarms to set, no digital reminders, only the sky and the steady sense that sleep is near. A young couple wraps themselves in furs, whispering softly. Their laughter is hushed like leaves brushing against bark. An elder sits alone, eyes scanning the stars. Perhaps he remembers someone. Perhaps he listens for the voice of the wind. The night deepens. A small fire is finally lit, just enough to offer warmth, not to challenge the dark. Shadows dance gently against the stones. Moths flutter near the glow. The smoke curls upward like ancient prayers. And across the camp, a silence begins to settle, not the silence of emptiness, but of peace, of togetherness, of rest. And as we sit here, watching this world unfold in slow motion, we begin to realize something. The night was not feared. It was accepted, welcomed. It was a time for reflection, for bonding, for quiet stories and healing dreams. There were dangers, yes, but also beauty. A different kind of life pulsing beneath the stars. So breathe deeply, dear listener. Let your own body soften like the leaves beneath their feet. Let your mind slow with theirs. And imagine, just for tonight, that you two live in that quiet world where the moon tells time and sleep comes gently, wrapped in animal skins and the warmth of shared breath. Let this be your camp tonight. Let the stars watch over you, as they did our ancestors. And let the soft rhythm of history cradle you into rest. We will continue this journey when the next part begins. But for now, let the night carry you home. The fire is now a low glow in the center of the clearing, its warmth humming quietly in the background like a forgotten lullaby. Sparks occasionally rise into the sky, disappearing into the blackness above like tiny spirits ascending to the realm of dreams. The group is silent now, not out of fear, not out of tension, but out of something more ancient, a shared understanding that the day is done, and the night has taken over. In the soft rhythm of flickering light, Shadows stretch long across the ground, dancing slowly on the walls of the surrounding trees. The Stone Age night is alive, but not loud. It breathes in stillness. It sings in hushes. There are no walls to keep it out, no glass to separate inside from outside. The people here are part of the night, and the night is part of them. As the hours pass, small rituals unfold. They are not elaborate or loud. A woman picks through a pouch of herbs, pressing certain leaves beneath her nose and inhaling deeply, perhaps a tradition for peace or for healing. A man carves something gently into bone, not with purpose, but with presence. He is not trying to finish. He is simply there, letting his hands speak while his thoughts drift into the slow river of darkness around him. There is a rhythm to this world, and it is not measured in seconds or hours. It is measured in breath, in wind, in the slow crackle of cooling wood. Not far from the fire, a small group huddles together beneath woven hides. Their heads pressed gently against one another, not for warmth alone, but for closeness. They do not speak. There is no need. The silence between them is full of stories already told, full of days already lived, full of comfort that has no words. These people have no clocks, no written plans for the next day. Their awareness of time is guided by the moon above, now climbing higher, pale and distant, casting silver light on stones and sleeping forms. One young boy remains awake. His eyes, wide and reflecting firelight, stare at the sky above. Perhaps he's trying to count the stars. Perhaps he's looking for a shape, a bear, a bird, a god. Or maybe, in his young mind, he's thinking of something much simpler. How big the sky is, how far the stars are, how quiet the world becomes when no one speaks. He does not stir. He does not call for anyone. But inside, his thoughts swirl like smoke, full of wonder and weightless dreams. Far beyond the edges of the camp, the night carries on. Owls glide between branches without sound. A distant animal calls, not in warning, not in hunger, but in presence. A reminder that the forest never sleeps entirely. And yet, here in the clearing, time seems suspended. As if this one night, this single, uneventful, beautifully quiet night could stretch forever without anyone noticing. And maybe it does. Maybe in some way. Each night in the Stone Age was a small eternity of stillness, of slowness of being. It's in this stillness that dreams begin. Not always while sleeping, but sometimes just before. When the body is still, and the mind floats gently between thought and rest. An elder, eyes closed, breath steady, begins to hum not for music, not for entertainment, but as a quiet offering to the dark. A low tone, rising and falling, like the wind weaving through branches. Others hear it, but do not respond. They feel it. They let it blend into their breath, their pulse, their drifting consciousness. These people do not know what electricity is. They have never seen a light bulb or a glowing screen or heard the beep of an alarm. But they know time in a way we have forgotten. They know it as a feeling, a tide, a shift in the scent of the air, the way leaves stop rustling, the way the fire settles, the way the world exhales. Night is not a pause for them. It is a whole separate life, a chapter written in darkness, meant not to be rushed through, but lived fully with quiet, with closeness, with rest. As the camp sleeps, the fire dims further, now only occasional flickers lighting the ancient faces of those in slumber. You see lines carved by sun and wind, by laughter and grief. You see the softness of children curled into the safety of others. There is no fear here, not tonight. The dangers of the world, wild animals, cold winds, uncertainty are known, but they are not dwelled upon. The people of this time have accepted what is. They do not fight the night, they become part of it, and so must we. In our own quiet way, in our own safe space. Let the lessons of their silence reach across time. Let their slow evenings, their wordless connections, their stargazing and fire sitting, echo into your own breathing. There is nothing you must do now. No tasks, no decisions. Just be still as they were. Just breathe as they did. You are surrounded not by stone and leaves, but by the gentle presence of a time long forgotten, and yet still inside us, somewhere. Let your mind drift as theirs once did, through story, through shadow, through star. Let the crackle of imagined fire, the hush of wind in unseen trees, and the rhythm of ancient breath carry you deeper into the night. The story is not over. The fire has not yet gone out. But for now, rest in this moment. Float in this stillness. For when we return in the next part, the dreams will begin to take shape, and the night, oh, the night will reveal even more. The fire is nearly gone now, reduced to a gentle halo of red coals, pulsing softly like a heart beneath the earth. The warmth that once danced along faces and fingers is fading, replaced by the natural chill of night air settling into the bones of the forest. Yet no one stirs. The people of this ancient world sleep deeply, bundled close, breathing as one with the rhythms around them. Above them, the stars shimmer more clearly now, no longer competing with flames or movement. The Milky Way arches like a celestial river, winding across the black canvas of sky, a road to somewhere unseen, a map only dreams can follow. And it is here, in this perfect stillness, that the dream world begins. In our modern world, dreams are often dismissed, fleeting, strange, forgotten by morning. But to the people of the Stone Age, dreams were something else entirely. They were not separate from life, but woven into it. Dreams carried messages. They revealed signs. They spoke the language of animals, of ancestors, of the wind and the moon. The boundary between the seen and unseen was thinner at night, and when sleep arrived, it was not simply rest, it was a journey. Imagine a sleeping child, curled beside her mother, her breath shallow and even. Her mind, now unburdened by the day's activity, slips gently into the stream of dream. She sees a giant bird, its wings gliding silently across a valley of mist. The bird speaks without words, and yet the message is clear. Protection, direction. In the morning, the child may not speak of it, but something inside her shifts, a sense of knowing, a quiet confidence, a belief that something greater is always watching. Elsewhere in the camp, a hunter dreams of the deer he did not catch. In the dream, the deer turns and speaks with human eyes. It does not flee, it simply watches. When the hunter wakes, he is silent, thoughtful. Perhaps he understands that the forest gives and withholds, not out of cruelty, but wisdom. The dream was not failure, it was a lesson. A conversation with the spirit of the land. These dreams are not chaos. They are not nonsense. In this world, they are sacred. A way of seeing beyond the physical, of touching what cannot be touched in daylight. Some elders are known for their dreams, not because they are louder, but because their minds are quieter, more open. In the morning, others may gather and listen as these elders share what they have seen, visions of rivers that change course, of birds flying backward, of ancestors with glowing eyes. And though the meanings are rarely clear, no one laughs, no one doubts. The dream is part of the night, and the night is part of the truth. Sometimes, in the very heart of darkness, a person awakens, not from fear, not from noise, simply stirred by something unseen. They rise slowly, step carefully away from the sleeping group, and walk into the trees. No torch, no shoes. The forest is not their enemy. It is familiar. Each root, each stone, each bend in the path has been memorized by their feet over years. And here, in the cold breath of the woods, they look up not at stars this time, but as shadows. They speak a few quiet words to someone who is not there, a parent who passed long ago, a child never born, a god whose name is only sung at night. And then, just as silently, they return, lie down again, and sleep returns as easily as the wind finds the leaves. The dream world continues. In one corner of the camp, a mother dreams of fire, not as destruction, but as life. She sees her family dancing around it, their faces lit with joy. When she wakes, she will remember this, and perhaps teach her children to tend flames with more reverence. Fire is not just warmth, it is memory, it is ritual, it is the heartbeat of the night. Some dreams are shared, not in exact images but in feeling. Two siblings may wake at dawn, look at each other, and simply nod, each having dreamt of wolves running beside them. A coincidence, perhaps, or maybe something more. Maybe the wolves did visit. Maybe their spirits circled the camp, watching, protecting, testing. The line between real and unreal is not a line at all here, it's a mist, a veil, a shimmer in the air. As the night deepens toward its quietest hour, the entire camp seems to float in timelessness. Even the wind has stilled. No footsteps, no bird calls. Only the faint sound of breathing, some slow, some soft, all steady. It is a sacred silence, one not easily found in the modern world. No hum of machines, no distant cars, no buzzing lights. Just existence in its purest form, the kind of silence that listens back. And in that silence, something remarkable happens. The people of this world, sleeping beneath fern and stars, begin to heal. Not just physically, though the body repairs itself in these hours, but emotionally, spiritually. Night, for them, is not absence. It is presence, a space for renewal, a temple of stars and shadows, where the soul may wander freely and return whole. You, listening now, may feel something stir inside you, something soft and ancient. A recognition. A pull. It is not nostalgia because you've never lived this life. And yet something about it feels familiar. As if buried deep within your bones is the memory of nights like these. Of lying beside others. Wrapped in silence and stars, trusting the dark to hold you. So let that feeling deepen. Let the hum of ancestral memory lull you further. Let the dreams of others mingle with your own. For tonight, you are not separate from them. You are one of them. A soul beneath the sky, sleeping beside fire and breath and myth. And as we close this part of the story, the night remains. It always does. There are still dreams to dream, still stars to follow, still stories to wake from. But for now, rest here between the seen and the unseen. Let your mind float. Let your body release. Let the old world hold you. The night, once heavy and endless, now begins to thin like mist lifting from a quiet lake. There is no sudden change, no alarm, no jarring sound to declare the new day. Instead, it is subtle. The stars, one by one, dim softly. The moon, once so present, begins its slow descent behind the hills. And far beyond the edges of the forest, a faint silver begins to trace the outline of distant trees. It is morning, not yet in full bloom, but in promise. The in-between. A breath held between darkness and light. And in the Stone Age camp, sleep still clings to limbs and breath, but the world is gently stirring. The first to rise is not always the youngest or the strongest. Often, it is the one who dreams lightly, whose soul walks closer to waking. An elder, perhaps, with eyes that open slowly, already aware that something has shifted in the air. There is no need for a spoken reason. The birds have not yet sung. The fire is only ash. And yet the day is coming. It hums softly beneath the soil. The elder sits up, wraps a fur more tightly around their shoulders, and gazes toward the eastern sky, not searching, but greeting. A silent acknowledgement of the returning light. Elsewhere, others begin to stir. Not with the urgency we know today, no rush to beat traffic, no appointments to make. These awakenings are slow, almost ceremonial. A stretch, a yawn, the soft creak of muscle. A glance to the sky. A hand brushing against another's arm in a silent gesture of warmth. Children roll over and nestle closer to warmth, not quite ready to surrender to the day. And that's okay. There is time. There is always time here. The first sounds of the morning are not voices, but nature's breath. A distant call of an early bird, low, curious, testing. Then a soft rustle as a breeze passes through the tall grass nearby. A few dry leaves tumble across the ground, whispering their morning secrets. In the absence of machines and motors, these tiny sounds become symphonies. And in the stillness, the people of this world listen. Not because they must, but because they want to. The land speaks, and they know how to hear it. The coals from last night's fire are not dead. They slumber like the people. With gentle breath and dry tinder, they are coaxed back to life. A woman kneels beside the circle of stones, blowing softly, patiently. She knows exactly how much breath to give, how to place each twig like a prayer. And soon, a small flame flickers to life. It is not bright, but it is warm. It becomes the heart of the waking world once again. Around the fire, others gather. They do not speak much. Words are not needed yet. Instead, there are glances, gestures, shared movements. A man slices thin strips of dried meat with a flint blade. A young girl unties a bundle of roots collected the day before. Someone pours a bit of water from a gourd, the droplets catching the first rays of light like diamonds. There is no table, no ceremony, and yet everything feels sacred. The morning is not something to conquer. It is something to receive. As light seeps further into the world, the camp becomes clearer. You can see now the markings on stones, the hand-woven ropes, the careful stacking of furs near sleeping areas. These are not people fumbling in darkness. They are caretakers of their world. Each object has meaning. Each space is chosen. And in the soft blush of dawn, everything appears as it is, simple, functional, beautiful. Soon, the children rise, their hair wild, their eyes blinking against the light. They stretch like small animals, unburdened by the weight of time. Some begin to play quietly, tracing shapes in the dirt or tossing pebbles in a game as old as memory. Others help with small tasks, gathering kindling, folding hides, watching the elders with quiet eyes. There is no school, no bells. Learning happens by living, by what am I doing? And morning is its own kind of classroom. The older ones prepare for the day's tasks. Some will walk far to find berries. Others will check traps set the day before. A few may attempt a hunt, though whether they return with food is a question only the forest can answer. But there is no dread in their preparation, no frustration, only readiness. The day is a canvas, and they are simply part of the pattern. Before they leave, though, there is a moment, a pause. It happens almost every morning. A stillness settles once more. Not out of sleep this time, but of intention. One person, it changes each day, steps away from the group and faces the rising sun. They raise their hands. No words, no ritual song. Just a breath, a gesture, a moment of unity with the light returning to the world. This is not religion as we know it. It is deeper, older. A bond with the very turning of the earth. A thank you for another chance. A greeting to the day that could bring anything. As the sun climbs higher, the golden light spills across the forest floor, revealing details hidden through the night. Spiderwebs glisten. Stones glow warm. Every blade of grass seems painted by the hand of something divine. And in this gentle brightness, the people of the Stone Age move with grace, with ease, with purpose born not of pressure but of belonging. And you, still here, still resting in this story, may feel something inside you shift, a warmth, a memory, a longing, perhaps for mornings like these, slow, sacred, silent. In a world that rarely allows stillness, this place remains untouched, unhurried. It welcomes you without asking. And as the light continues to rise, you are not left behind. You are rising with it. So rest a little longer in this glow. Let the rhythm of this morning settle into your breath. Let the simplicity of their world soften the edges of yours. For though we leave this part of the story here, the day has only just begun. And in the next chapter, we will follow them into the waking world, through forest paths and sunlit meadows, into the unfolding life of the people who walk before civilization and who still walk quietly through our dreams. The sun is now fully awake, stretching its golden limbs across the treetops and scattering light onto the forest floor like soft, warm petals. The dew that blanketed leaves and stones during the night has begun to vanish, soaked up by the breath of day, and with it, the last whispers of the dream world slowly dissolve. The people of the camp are now truly awake. Their movements are still quiet, still unhurried, but filled with a new rhythm, the rhythm of life under the open sky. There is no ringing bell to begin the day, no written plan. The tasks that await are the same ones they've always known. They are not assigned, they are simply understood. A few of the younger men gather their spears, long, balanced shafts carved carefully from hard wood and tipped with chipped stone. They speak very little, exchanging only glances and small gestures. The hunt is not a sport, it is a necessity, and the forest, while generous, does not guarantee a meal. These men know that they must move with the wind, not against it. At the edge of the trees, they pause. One kneels and presses his hand against the earth. The soil is damp but firm. He studies the faint impressions left behind, not words, but signs. A hoofprint soft and shallow, a broken stem, a patch of moss disturbed. Each detail is a sentence. Each disturbance is a whisper from the world. The group moves in silence, weaving between the trees like shadows. Back at the camp, others prepare for the day in their own way. Two women gather empty baskets woven from reeds and grasses, checking the cords for strength. Their hands move over the fibers with memory, not hesitation. These baskets will carry roots, berries, perhaps mushrooms if the forest is kind. They do not speak about. They'll find food. They simply go and trust that the land will offer something. Not everything, but enough. A few children trail behind them, small hands clutching sticks, their eyes wide with excitement. For them, these morning forays are both school and adventure. They learn not from lectures, but from footsteps. They memorize which plants are safe, which ones sting, which ones bleed red sap when broken. They learn the patterns of bees and birds, the difference between the rustle of a snake and the scurry of a mouse. Every bush, every stone, every scent in the air carries meaning, and slowly, gently, they begin to understand. Elsewhere, an elder stays behind. Not because of weakness, but because wisdom often waits. He tends to the tools of the camp, sharpening a blade with calm precision, adjusting the tension on a snare, inspecting a cracked bowl made of smooth bark. Around him, a few toddlers play with pebbles and feathers, their tiny voices a soft chorus of curiosity. He does not stop them. He watches, smiles, speaks only when needed. He knows that the world teaches best when it is not interrupted. The sun climbs higher. Shadows shrink. The heat is not oppressive, not here, where trees breathe and breezes move freely. Birds call from the canopy above, their songs layered over the hush of leaves. A squirrel darts along a branch. Somewhere deeper in the woods, a deer steps quietly into a patch of sunlight, unaware or perhaps uncaring that humans are near. Everything moves, but nothing hurries. Time stretches in all directions, not rushing forward, but folding gently around those who live in tune with it. The hunters continue their path, crouching low, reading the world like a scroll. One of them gestures to the others, a flash of fingers, a tilt of the head. Ahead, movement, not clear yet but felt, a disturbance in the quiet. They fan out slowly, placing each foot like a whisper. The forest watches always. The birds notice first, then the wind, then the animal itself, a wild boar, rooting near a fallen log. The hunters do not charge. They wait, breathe, merge with the stillness. Back in the camp, the gatherers have returned with half-filled baskets. Berries of deep blue and red, leaves with edges curled like ancient scrolls, roots dusted with earth. They sit near the fire and begin to clean the food, fingers stained with juice and soil. One woman hums a slow tune, not a song for others, but one that keeps her company. It is a melody passed down without words, a rhythm of remembering. The children mimic her, not perfectly, but closely enough. The fire pops softly in reply. The elder joins them, offering pieces of smoked meat from the day before. It is tough, but nourishing. The children chew slowly, watching the sky, the trees, the patterns of light that dance on the ground. Their world is not small, though it may seem so from the outside. To them, it is vast and endless, filled with mysteries in every leaf and wisdom in every crack of bark. Later, when the hunters return, whether successful or not, there is no celebration, no scolding. Only nods, quiet exchanges, small acknowledgments of the effort and the risk. If there is meat, it is shared without question. If not, there is still food, still fire, still one another. No one is left behind. Survival here is not about competition, but about connection. And through it all, the day flows, not in frantic segments or planned hours, but in waves. Work blends with rest. Movement flows into stillness. There is no clock, and yet everything happens in its time. The sun tells the story now, drawing long shadows as it begins its slow descent toward the western hills. The people do not chase the light. They welcome its leaving, just as they welcomed its arrival, because they know deeply, unshakably, that the world will keep turning, whether they watch it or not. You still here, still nestled in the rhythm of this world, may find your own breath slowing once again. There is something in this pace, this pattern, that speaks to the quieter part of you. The part not interested in urgency or noise. The part that remembers, even if only faintly, that life was once lived this way. Without rush, without pressure, with presence. So linger here, in the golden stretch of afternoon. Let the calm of their day wash gently over you. Let the hush of the forest and the warmth of the sun lull you back into softness. For the story is not yet done. The sun has not yet set, and in the next part, we will return to the camp as evening arrives once more, bringing with it the flicker of firelight, the echo of old stories, and the first gentle footsteps of sleep returning home. The sun begins to bend low in the sky, casting golden ribbons of light across the landscape. The long shadows return, stretching across the camp like silent messengers of approaching night. The warmth of midday fades gradually, replaced by a gentle coolness that settles softly onto the shoulders of the world. There is no alarm to signal that the day is ending. No schedule, no announcement, and yet everyone knows. They feel it in their bones, in the way the breeze changes its tone, in the way the birds quiet their songs, and the trees seem to sigh in response. The gatherers, now back in camp for some time, finish sorting their harvest. Baskets are laid side by side, their contents glowing in the low light, berries like droplets of ink, roots rough and knotted, leaves folded like green paper. One woman arranges them by texture, another by color. There is no right way, only the way they've always done it. The children help, small hands brushing dirt from tubers, fingers sticky with juice. Their laughter has softened now, not loud or wild, but low and warm, like the coals that will soon become fire again. In the distance, the hunting party returns. You hear them before you see them, not through words, but through movement. The gentle breaking of twigs under deliberate steps. The whisper of spears brushing against knees. They arrive not with triumph, not with ceremony, but with quiet nods and the calm of a task completed. A deer lies across a wide shoulder, its weight carried not just by muscle, but by meaning. It is placed near the center of camp. A few gather around it, not out of spectacle but reverence. They know what it gave, they know what it means. The sky now shifts further from golden to pale orange, from pale orange to deep rose. The clouds become rivers of color, and then slowly the blue returns darker this time, colder. One by one, tasks begin to wrap up. Tools are returned to their places, baskets are covered, firewood is gathered. There is no rushing, only rhythm. The same rhythm that guides the stars, the tides, the heartbeats of sleeping animals. Everything returns, everything slows, everything prepares. The fire is rebuilt at the center of the camp, this time not for light alone, but for gathering. A spark, a breath, a curl of smoke, and then flame. It crackles, but gently, no roar, no demand. It grows because it is invited. Around it, the people begin to settle once more. They sit not in rows, not in order, but in a pattern only they understand, woven from years of habit, of knowing who likes to sit where, who prefers to lean against stone, who always keeps their feet near the edge. There is comfort in these small things. The deer is cleaned and prepared with care. Knives of stone slide easily through sinew and skin. There is no waste. Bones are kept. Organs are wrapped. Every piece has a purpose, a future use, a story yet to be written. Some parts are placed directly over the fire, sizzling quietly, the scent rising into the evening air and mixing with the smoke. The children watch, wide-eyed, not from hunger alone, but from awe. This is not just food, this is survival, this is life, and they are part of it. As twilight deepens, conversation begins to flow not loudly, but naturally. A man tells of tracks he saw, strange and unfamiliar. A woman laughs quietly at something her daughter said during gathering. An elder offers a memory, one that rises slowly like mist from a pond, about a hunt long ago or a flood that changed the shape of the river. These stories are not lessons, and yet they teach. They are not entertainment, and yet they enchant. Around the fire, listening is as important as speaking. Every voice matters. Even silence is welcomed, cradled, understood. The youngest grow sleepier. Their heads droop against knees and shoulders. Some crawl into the laps of parents. Others curl beside the fire, already halfway between waking and dreams. A mother sings, barely above a whisper. A tune made of only a few notes, repeated gently. It is not a song meant for others. It is not a performance. It is a thread between her and her child, between now and the past, between this fire and 1,000 fires before it. Overhead, the first stars emerge. Timid at first, then brighter, more confident. The moon is not yet risen, but the sky is already beginning its dance. The fire glows deeper now, not flickering, but breathing. Those who are still awake gaze into it as if looking into memory, or future, or something else entirely. The flames have a way of holding thoughts, of catching feelings. They do not judge, they simply burn. An elder leans forward, pokes gently at the coals, and speaks again. This time, a story from before even his own memory. One passed down, stone to stone, voice to voice. About a time when animals spoke freely, when the mountains were soft, when the stars lived lower in the sky. The children, even in their drowsiness, listen. Their breathing slows, their eyes blink longer. The story wraps around them like a blanket, woven not of fabric, but of sound and silence. And slowly, the fire becomes the only sound, the only movement. Around it, bodies lie still, some covered in fur, some simply curled against the earth. The conversations have quieted, the tasks have ended. The sky is full now of stars, of dreams, of the quiet hum of a world at peace. The deer is gone, shared among all. The baskets are empty. The day has ended, but not in the way modern days end. Not abruptly, not with closing doors or turned off screens. Here the day fades like smoke into the night, like breath into air. It ends the way water flows, gently, naturally, without edge. And in that ending, there is no sadness, only continuity. Only the quiet promise that the world will turn again, that the fire will spark again, that the stars will still be there tomorrow. So you, still listening, still drifting through this ancient world, can feel yourself soften once more. Let the hush of the evening fold around you. Let the flicker of imagined flame reflect in your thoughts. Let the voices fade. Let the fire become your breath. Let the weight of the day, even your day, fall away as theirs did. Because here, in this place, you are part of something slow, something sacred, something safe. The night has returned, sleep is coming, but the journey is not over. There are more stories, more fires, more dreams, and in the next part, we will follow the footsteps of the stars once more, deeper into the quiet heart of the Stone Age night. The night has deepened now into its quietest hour. Not the beginning of darkness, but the heart of it. That strange, sacred time when the fire has become more ember than flame, when even the breeze seems to whisper more softly, as if not to wake the trees. Above, the stars shine brighter than before, no longer competing with the light of day or the smoke of cooking fires. They hang motionless, not in silence, but in the ancient music of stillness. All around the camp, bodies lie still, some curled on their sides, others stretched out with arms folded across chests, eyes closed in the rhythm of deep, uninterrupted sleep. Breath rises and falls in perfect time, like the tide brushing the shore. There is no light but starlight, no sound but the slow exhale of wind moving through leaves. And within each sleeping mind, the dream world has opened once again. This is not dreaming as we know it today, not a scattered collection of thoughts or fragments of memory. For these people untouched by clocks, by artificial light, by concrete walls, dreaming is not a separate state. It is a continuation, a path that opens once the body rests, but the soul remains alert. These dreams are not bound by logic. They do not ask for explanation. They simply are. Real and unreal at the same time. Visions not to be analyzed, but experienced. In one dream, a boy walks beside a river that speaks. Its waters shimmer with light not from the sun, but from within. The river calls him by name, though he has never heard it spoken aloud. It shows him stones shaped like animals, trees shaped like fire. He follows it without fear, and when he wakes hours later, he won't remember all of it, but he'll carry something in his bones, a feeling, a shift. Elsewhere, a woman dreams of her grandmother's hands wrinkled, firm, guiding. In the dream, they paint her face with symbols drawn from smoke and ash. She does not ask why. She simply receives the marks. When she wakes, she will find herself tracing those same lines in the dirt beside the fire, her fingers moving without thought. She will not explain. She will not need to. Many of these dreams involve animals, not pets, not creatures to be owned, but spirits, guides, partners. A man dreams of a bear standing beside him at the edge of a cliff. The bear speaks no words, and yet he understands. It is not a message of fear, but of endurance, of strength and waiting. Another dreams of a bird, black wings spread wide, circling above a forest of flame. When he wakes, he will stare at the sky for a long time, searching, not for the bird itself, but for the feeling it brought. Some dreams repeat, not exactly, but in shape. One person dreams of water rising, another of stars falling, another of walking to a cave that has no end. These symbols mean different things to different dreamers, and yet they are all part of the same current, flowing beneath the surface of language and reason. A shared memory that stretches beyond any single lifetime. The elders have a word for this, though they never speak it aloud. It's not a word in the way we think of words. It's more of a breath, a sound that rises only when needed. It means something like the place where all dreams touch. A space that does not exist in the waking world, but is always there, behind the trees, behind the stars, behind the eyes. Sometimes in the deepest part of night, one of them stirs, not from discomfort, but from calling. They rise slowly, so as not to disturb the others, and step away from the circle of warmth. Their bare feet touch the cool ground. They move without hesitation toward an open patch of earth where the stars are most visible. There, they sit, legs crossed, eyes open, staring upward not to look but to listen. The stars speak in silence. They pulse with memory, and in that quiet communion, something inside the watcher stirs, not thought, but knowing. These are not astronomers. They do not map the sky with tools, and yet, they know its movements better than most who would come thousands of years later. They know when a star is missing, when a new one arrives, when two lights touch for just a moment before drifting apart. To them, the stars are not cold or distant. They are relatives, ancestors, storytellers, and each night, as sleep folds around them, they listen to these stories without needing to understand them. There is no need to make sense of these experiences, to question whether they are real or imagined. In this world, such lines are not drawn. A dream is real because it is felt. A star speaks because it shines. The night does not demand explanation, it only offers presence, a mirror for the soul. a reflection of what lies beneath the surface of words. You, lying still now, wrapped in your own kind of night, may begin to feel it too. That slowness, that depth, the sensation that something inside you is beginning to drift not away, but inward, toward a part of you that remembers quiet, that remembers firelight, that remembers the language of trees and the rhythm of breath shared by a sleeping tribe. Let yourself go there. Let the stories blur. Let the fire fade from red to gold to memory. Let the stars grow wider in your mind. You are not watching them now. You are part of them. You are lying under the same sky that these people once watched, once trusted, once dreamed beneath. And as the night carries on, so too does the dream. Not one dream, but many flowing like rivers, colliding, separating, winding around stones of old emotions, old truths, old desires. Here, in the stillness of the ancient night, everything you thought you left behind returns, not to haunt, but to comfort, to remind you that you are not so different from them, that within your modern heart still beats the rhythm of ancient sleep. So drift now if you haven't already. Drift past the edges of story, past the fire and the stone and the stars. Let your breath slow. Let your mind grow light. You are safe. You are held. You are dreaming. And the story will wait for you, always just on the other side of the flame. The deepest part of the night has passed. Though still wrapped in darkness, the world has begun its gentle return toward light. It's not something you see, not yet. It's something you feel, a softening of shadows, a shift in the air. The silence is still whole, still thick like velvet, but it holds a different weight now. Less heavy, more expectant, as if even the trees are holding their breath, waiting for the horizon to stir. In the sleeping camp, bodies remain still, curled in shapes of comfort and quiet survival. The fire has burned down to its final embers, a dim red glow buried in ash, like a heartbeat under a blanket of snow. No one moves, and yet change is coming, not with urgency but inevitability. The slow ancient turning of the world. Within the minds of the dreamers, the visions begin to fade. Not abruptly, not like pages ripped from a book, but like fog lifting from a field. The edges of dreams soften. The images dissolve into feeling. Faces become light. Voices become wind. And in this liminal space between sleeping and waking, something else begins to rise to awareness. The soul prepares to return. One by one, the senses reawaken. A hand shifts under a fur blanket. Toes curl against cool earth. Breath deepens. A bird calls, faint and distant, the first voice of morning. It does not demand attention, it simply announces, I am here. And the world listens. The first to wake does not sit up right away. They open their eyes slowly, blinking into the still dark sky above. The stars are still visible, but fainter now, paling in the presence of a light that has not yet arrived. The person lies there, watching, remembering. The dream still clings to them like mist on skin. They do not rush to shake it off. They let it linger, a bridge between what was and what is. Soon others stir, a rustle here, a stretch there, soft exhalations, fingers flexing, legs unfolding. There are no words yet. The language of morning is movement, a shared dance of return. The camp does not rise as one. It unfolds, slowly, like a flower opening to light not visible but already felt. A woman reaches over and touches her child's back, warm and steady. The child sighs, nestles closer, not ready to leave the safety of sleep. A man turns on his side and gazes toward the fire pit, reading the ash like he would read clouds, seeing what remains, what is needed next. Someone sneezes softly. Another coughs. These are not disruptions. They are affirmations. Life is still here. The air is different now. Colder, yes, but cleaner too. The kind of air that carries the scent of wet leaves, of dew forming on grass, of the breath of distant hills. It is the air of beginning, and in that air, the camp slowly begins to wake. The fire is not yet rebuilt. That will come. For now, warmth comes from closeness, bodies near bodies, hands clasped briefly, a shared fur passed from one shoulder to another. A few speak, in hushed tones, not to start a conversation, but to welcome one another back from the land of sleep. A simple murmur, a low chuckle, a shared memory of a dream not fully remembered but too vivid to forget. As the sky shifts from black to deep blue, the stars begin to vanish. Not all at once, but gently, as if stepping behind a curtain. The moon, now low and golden, hovers near the horizon, preparing to leave. And somewhere far away, perhaps over a ridge, perhaps beyond a groove, the first light begins its slow ascent. A line, a glow, a promise. With it comes the sound of wind. Not loud, not sharp, but present. It moves through the trees with a rhythm all its own, brushing against bark and bone, whispering along the edges of the camp. The people feel it. They lift their heads. They sniff the air. There's something coming. Not danger, not urgency, just morning, and now at last the fire returns. A spark, a breath, a careful placing of dry twigs and shaved bark, a gentle blowing, slow and deliberate. The ember catches, it glows, it grows. The flame flickers to life, not in a burst, but in a bloom, like the soul of the night offering itself one last time before stepping aside, and with it, the people draw near. They sit, not because they must, but because it is what is done. A circle forms naturally, no one commands it. It forms from memory, from need, from instinct. Around the fire, the dreamers sit. Some still blinking, some still halfway between worlds, but all together. There is no rush to begin the day, no orders barked, no plans laid out. The fire is the first step. It centers, it reminds. Hands are held out, palms catch the heat. Shoulders lean in, eyes close again, briefly not to sleep, but to hold on to the fading pieces of the night's journey. And slowly someone speaks. Not loudly, not clearly. Just a phrase, a fragment of dream perhaps. A beer, a bird, a voice that sang in water. Another person nods. They saw something similar. A pattern, a shape in the stars. A cave that called to them. There is no interpretation, only listening. Only the acknowledgement that the dream mattered. That it was real in its own way. That it was shared, even if not seen by all. Children now begin to rise. Sleepy-eyed, hair wild, they stretch like little animals. Yawning into the light, one picks up a stick and pokes the fire. Another lies back down, unwilling to let go just yet. The morning belongs to them too, in their own soft way. And now the light. True light. The first golden spill of sun across the tops of distant trees. The forest catches it, embraces it, reflects it back in 1,000 dewdrops. The birds begin in earnest now, not just one, but many. Their chorus is not melodic, but layered, like threads of song braided together. The world is waking, slowly, beautifully, and you still with us may feel that pull too, that return, that gentle shift from dream to dawn. Let it move through you, not suddenly, but with the grace of stars fading into morning. You are not being asked to wait, only to notice, to feel the warmth as it returns to the earth, to remember the stillness, and to carry it with you, even as the day begins. So breathe. Let your chest rise and fall with the rhythm of the camp, with the rhythm of a world that turns not in haste, but in harmony. Let the last glow of starlight soften your thoughts. Let the fire warm your imagination. Let the presence of these ancient dreamers remind you that even in your modern world, you are never far from this, from the quiet, the fire, the sky, the dream. Morning has not fully arrived. Not yet. There is still time. Time to be still, remember. Time to rest a little longer beneath the final veil of night. Because the story continues, not just in words, but in breath, in warmth, in light. The first true light of morning spills gently over the horizon, painting the sky in shades of soft pink and pale gold. The darkness that held the world captive through the night has retreated, but the day itself moves slowly, deliberately, as if mindful of the delicate balance between waking and stillness. The forest breathes a new breath, a fresh sigh that ripples through leaves and moss, stirring the earth awake. Around the camp, bodies begin to stretch and turn with the ease of those who have rested well, who carry sleep still softly in their bones. Eyes flutter open, catching the slow dance of light filtering through branches overhead. The air carries a crispness, cool but inviting, filled with the mingling sense of damp earth, smoldering ash, and faint traces of last night's fire. It is a world untouched by hurry or alarm, a world where each breath is a quiet celebration of presence. Hands reach out instinctively, brushing away blankets made of animal furs, the textures familiar and grounding. Small movements ripple through the group as one by one, each person transitions from sleep to wakefulness. There is no clamor, no call to rise, only a shared, unspoken understanding that the day has begun, and with it, a return to the patterns of living that have sustained them for generations. The fire pit, cold and gray now, but still circled by stones worn smooth through time, becomes the focal point once again. Some approach it with careful steps, gathering kindling from the ground, dry twigs and brittle branches, fragments of bark that crackle beneath fingers. There is a ritual here, quiet, methodical, with practiced hands. Sparks are coaxed from flint, breaths are soft and steady, and the flame returns like an old friend, flickering and growing into a warm glow that reaches outward like an embrace. Nearby, the children rise with a different energy. Their limbs stretch and flex like young animals learning their strength. Their eyes sparkle with the curiosity of discovery, and their voices, still soft and cautious, begin to fill the air with small sounds, whispers, giggles, the gentle tapping of sticks against stones. They gather around the adults not just for protection, but to learn. In their world, education is woven seamlessly into everyday life, observation, imitation, participation, all lessons without walls or schedules. Some of the women move toward the edges of the camp, their hands skilled in the art of gathering. They collect woven baskets, check their cords, and prepare to move into the forest's quiet embrace. Their knowledge of plants is deep and intricate, which leaves soothe an age, which roots nourish, which berries are sweet or bitter. This understanding is passed down silently, like a river flowing beneath the surface of conversation. Today, their steps will be measured and slow, guided by memory and intuition rather than maps or compasses. The men prepare as well, checking their tools. Stone blades are sharpened against rough rocks, spear tips inspected for chips and cracks. There is no boastfulness in their movements, only focus and respect. The hunt is a sacred act, a delicate dance with the wild world. It requires patience, skill, and the humility to accept whatever the forest offers. Success is never guaranteed, but effort is always honored. In the heart of the camp, elders rise with a quiet dignity. Their bodies may move more slowly, but their presence commands a subtle authority. They gather near the fire, exchanging few words, but sharing much understanding. These are the keepers of memory, not just of facts or events, but of the land itself. They speak in stories and symbols, in gestures and silence. Their lives are bridges between past and future, between earth and sky. The rhythm of morning is gentle but purposeful. There is work to be done, but it is not work as we know it. It is a collaboration with nature, a dialogue between people and place. The forest is not a resource to be conquered, but a partner to be respected. Each step taken, each item gathered, each tool crafted is an act of communion. As the sun climbs higher, light spreads across the canopy like liquid gold, revealing hidden patterns in bark and leaf, illuminating spider webs and mossy stones. Shadows shift and play, creating a mosaic of light and dark that moves with the breeze. Birds sing with renewed vigor, their melodies weaving through the forest like threads of sound. The world is alive with possibility, but it is also steady, grounded. Within this unfolding morning, connections deepen. Hands pass food to mouths, eyes meet in silent communication. Stories are told not loudly or hurriedly, but as soft murmurs that carry the weight of generations. The past is never far away. It lingers in the curve of a stone tool, in the scent of smoke, in the shape of a leaf. You, still here, still wrapped in the embrace of this ancient day, may feel a part of this awakening too. The slow uncoiling of breath, the gentle stretch of limbs, the quiet call of the earth beneath your skin. Let this moment settle into you like a warm current. Let the peace of these morning rituals seep into your mind and body. Because this story, this slow, deliberate dance with the dawn is a reminder that life does not always demand speed, that beauty can be found in patience, that waking is not just a physical act, but a spiritual one. And as the day continues, as the people of this ancient world move through their hours, you carry with you the stillness, the reverence, and the steady heartbeat of a world lived in harmony. As the sun ascends toward its zenith, the camp hums with quiet purpose. The golden light filters through the canopy in shifting patterns, dappling the earth with warmth and shade. In this part of the day, the rhythm of life unfolds like a slow river, steady, deliberate, carrying with it the small actions that weave the fabric of survival and community. Among the people, the division of labor is as natural as breathing, yet never rigid. Tasks flow from one to another like threads interlacing a vast tapestry, each essential, each valued. Some begin the day by tending to the tools, sharpening flint blades against coarse stones, fashioning new spear tips with patient hands, repairing woven baskets whose cords have begun to fray. These instruments are not merely tools, but extensions of their makers' bodies, crafted with care and respect, ready to meet the demands of the wild. Women move with a steady grace through the forest's edge, their baskets woven tight against spills, gathering roots and herbs that cling to the earth's secrets. They know which plants soothe the aches, which nourish the body, and which to avoid. Their knowledge etched deeply into memory, passed down not in books, but through shared experience and quiet observation. Each plant picked is a gift and a responsibility, a testament to the delicate balance between taking and giving back. Children follow, their eyes wide with wonder, learning not through formal teaching, but through watching and mimicking. Every step they take is a lesson, every leaf, every insect, every bird's call is a story waiting to be understood. Their laughter is soft, a gentle melody blending with the rustle of leaves and the distant murmur of running water. Here learning is woven into the very air, inseparable from the world itself. Men prepare for the hunt, checking their weapons with solemn intent. Their movements are deliberate, measured, aware of the dangers and the gifts that lie ahead. The hunt is not a contest or sport, it is a dance with nature's cycles, a sacred exchange that requires patience, skill, and deep respect. Their eyes scan the forest floor and canopy alike, reading signs invisible to the untrained gaze, broken twigs, disturbed earth, faint scents carried by the breeze. Each clue is a word in the forest's unspoken language. Within the camp, elders watch and listen. Their presence is a quiet anchor, a living repository of stories, rituals, and wisdom. They speak little, but their words carry the weight of countless seasons. Sometimes, an elder will rise to share a story, a tale of past hunts, of storms weathered, of lessons learned from the land. These stories are not just memories, they are guides for living, echoes of the ancestors carried forward on the breath of the wind. Social bonds weave tightly throughout the day. The people work side by side, sharing tasks, sharing food, sharing moments of silence and laughter. There is no hurry, no division by rank or wealth, only the mutual recognition that survival depends on cooperation. Trust is built not through contracts, but through countless small acts, passing a tool, helping a child up a steep bank, sharing the shade of a tree. The natural world pulses at the center of all activity. The rustling of leaves, the song of birds, the distant call of animals all provide a soundtrack to life. The people move in harmony with these sounds, their steps soft on the earth, their voices low and respectful. They understand that they are part of a larger web, connected to every living thing, the trees that shade them, the rivers that quench their thirst, the animals whose lives intersect with theirs. Meals are simple but meaningful. The gathered fruits and roots, the hunted meat, the clean water drawn from nearby streams, all shared and savored with gratitude. Eating is not a rushed affair, but a communal ritual, a time to rest, to bond, to renew strength for the hours ahead. The fire, ever present, crackles softly, offering warmth and comfort. As the day wears on, small moments of rest punctuate the labor. A child naps beneath a broad leaf, shielded from the sun's heat. An elder closes their eyes briefly, letting the sounds of the forest lull them into calm. Hands pause in weaving or carving, allowing the mind to wander, to dream, to remember. There is a profound sense of presence here, a deep attunement to the moment, to the body, to the environment. Time is not counted in hours or minutes, but felt in the cycles of nature, in the waxing and waning of light, in the steady rhythm of breath and heartbeat. This awareness permeates every action, infusing even the smallest task with meaning. In this ancient dance of survival and community, the boundaries between work and play, between individual and group, between past and present blur. Each person is both learner and teacher, protector and nurturer, listener and storyteller. The day flows seamlessly into itself, a living testament to balance and harmony. And as the sun reaches its highest point, casting sharp shadows and illuminating the vibrant life around them, the people pause not because the day demands it, but because the rhythm of the earth invites it. They gather briefly in shade or by water, sharing smiles, stories, and moments of quiet connection. In these pauses, the strength of their bond is renewed, and the pulse of life beats steadily onward. You, who have traveled this slow path with them, may feel the gentle pull of this harmony settling within you. The reminder that life's deepest treasures often reside not in haste or accumulation, but in presence and connection. Let this understanding wash over you like a cool stream, refreshing and steadying your spirit, for the story continues, unfolding like the endless sky above, vast, patient, and full of quiet wonder. The afternoon sun dips gently lower, casting long shadows that stretch lazily across the forest floor. The heat of midday softens into a warmth that cradles rather than burns, inviting rest and reflection. Within the camp, a hush settles, not one of silence, but of calm contentment. The day's early bustle has mellowed into a steady, soothing rhythm. The people move with purpose, but that purpose is measured, deliberate, infused with the slow grace of familiarity and ease. This is the time when stories begin to ripple through the group once again, like gentle waves lapping at the shore. Not the stories of distant past, told solemnly by elders, but those born from today's experiences, small moments noticed and shared. A child's first successful attempt at crafting a tool, the unexpected path of a hunting arrow, the curious dance of a butterfly near the water. These tales are offered not as lessons, but as celebrations of life's intricacies. Sharing is the pulse of this time. Food is passed hand to hand, not hoarded but offered freely, a gesture that weaves trust and belonging. The sweetness of gathered berries, the rich aroma of roasted meat, the cool refreshment of stream water. Each bite is savored not just for sustenance, but as a moment of communion. The fire crackles quietly, a steady companion to these exchanges, its warmth enfolding the group like an old embrace. The children play nearby, their laughter light and spontaneous. Their games are more than amusement. They are practice for the roles they will one day inhabit, mimicking the movements of hunters, gathering plants alongside the women, learning the sounds and signs of the forest. Each play is a thread in the tapestry of knowledge. Elders watch with soft smiles, their eyes reflecting pride and gentle encouragement. Throughout the camp, small rituals punctuate the afternoon. A woman gently massages her aching shoulder with crushed leaves known to soothe. Another smooths the fibers of a newly woven basket, whispering thanks to the plant spirits for their gift. Hands reach out to touch the bark of trees, grounding themselves in the solid presence of earth. These moments are quiet acts of reverence, invisible to outsiders but vital to those who live in tune with nature's cycles. Conversations drift easily, often carried on in murmurs rather than words. Sometimes, a glance shared across the fire speaks volumes, an unspoken bond forged through years of shared experience. Trust here is woven not from contracts, but from countless small gestures of care, understanding, and respect. The community thrives on this invisible fabric, strong and supple. The natural world continues its symphony around them. Birds sing in complex melodies, insects hum softly in the undergrowth, and the breeze carries scents of wildflowers and damp earth. These sounds are not mere background noise, but a living conversation between people and place. Listening is as important as speaking. Attention is a form of respect. At times, the group pauses to observe the subtle changes in their surroundings. A new flower blooming, the arrival of a migratory bird, the shifting patterns of clouds overhead. These observations are more than curiosity, they are essential knowledge, woven into the community's understanding of time and place. Each change signals something, a warning, a promise, a shift in the seasons. As the afternoon wanes, the camp prepares once again for the transition toward evening. Tools are cleaned and stored, food is gathered and preserved, firewood collected and arranged. These actions are carried out with care, mindful of the balance between taking from the world and giving back. Nothing is wasted, every scrap has purpose. The elders gather once more, their presence anchoring the community in shared memory and tradition. They speak softly of the cycles of the sun, the moon, the animals, and the plants, weaving lessons into stories that ripple through the listeners like gentle currents. Their words are not commands but invitations to observe, to feel, to understand. You, still here in the embrace of this ancient world, may sense the deep interconnection that flows beneath all these actions, between people and nature, past and present, body and spirit. This afternoon's gentle pulse invites you to slow your own breath, to soften your thoughts, to settle deeper into the quiet strength of being. As the sun continues its slow descent, painting the sky with hues of amber and rose, you carry with you this moment of calm, a gift from a time long past but never truly gone. The story unfolds ever onward, like the turning of the earth beneath the endless sky, steady and sure. The sun's descent is slow and deliberate, casting long shadows that stretch like gentle fingers across the forest floor. The golden light softens, shifting from the bright warmth of day to the tender hues of evening. It is a time of transition, a bridge between the fullness of day and the quiet promise of night. The air cools slightly, carrying with it the rich scent of earth and foliage, mingled with the faint smoke of the dying fire. Within the camp, a sense of calm deepens. The day's work has been done, the forest gifts gathered, the hunt concluded, and now the people gather once more in the familiar circle around the fire pit. The stones that encircle the hearth seem to hold the memory of countless evenings like this, a silent witness to generations of shared warmth and stories. The fire is rekindled carefully, sparks coaxed from flint and tinder, breath steady and sure. Flames dance to life, casting flickering light that plays across faces, etched with the day's effort and quiet satisfaction. The fire's glow offers not just warmth, but a sacred presence, a gathering point for the community's heart. As the flames rise, the people settle in, finding comfort in proximity. Bodies lean close, shoulders brush, hands reach out to share warmth or touch in reassurance. The atmosphere is gentle and intimate, free from haste or distraction. Here, in the firelight's embrace, the boundary between self and other softens, and a shared sense of belonging blooms. Evening rituals unfold naturally, shaped by the rhythms of the day and the needs of the moment. Some tend to their wounds with poultices made from crushed herbs, the cool leaves pressed carefully to soothe it. Others prepare simple meals, transforming gathered roots and game into nourishment that sustains both body and spirit. The act of eating together is slow and mindful, a ceremony of gratitude for the gifts received from the earth and sky. Stories return, flowing like quiet rivers through the circle. Not just tales of the past, but reflections on the day's experiences, a successful hunt, a new discovery, a moment of laughter shared between friends. These narratives are spoken softly, each word chosen with care, weaving a tapestry of connection and memory. They are both anchor and sail, grounding the community while allowing imagination to drift toward the mysteries beyond. The children, now calm and attentive, listen wide-eyed. Their faces glow with the flickering firelight, shadows dancing across their features as elders' voices rise and fall with the cadence of old tales. In these moments, knowledge is passed not through instruction but through presence, through the quiet magic of stories shared beneath the vast night sky. Small acts of reverence punctuate the evening. Hands trace patterns in the dirt, marking symbols that speak of gratitude and protection. Eyes lift to the stars emerging overhead, distant fires in a velvet sky, and silent prayers or wishes are sent forth. The night becomes a sacred space, a living tapestry where the seen and unseen meet. As darkness deepens, the sounds of the forest shift subtly. The vibrant chorus of day gives way to the softer symphony of night, the rustle of leaves, the call of nocturnal creatures, the whisper of wind weaving through branches. These sounds are embraced, not feared, for they are part of the world's endless cycle, a reminder of life's continuity. Within the camp, lids are drawn, blankets wrapped tighter. Bodies curl into shapes of rest, eyes close, and breathing slows to the rhythm of the night. Yet, even in sleep, the fire's warmth lingers, a thread of light in the darkness, a promise of dawn. The communal fire, tended carefully throughout the night, flickers low but steady. It guards the edges of the camp, a beacon against the unknown, a source of comfort and safety. Around it, the people dream not alone, but together, linked by the invisible threads of shared history and belonging. You, resting alongside them in spirit, may feel the gentle descent into night's embrace. The slow fading of light, the softening of thought, the deepening of breath. This is a time to surrender to the quiet, to let go of the day's demands, and to enter the sacred space of rest. The story flows onward, carried by the flames, whispered by the wind, held in the silence between heartbeats. It is a tale not just of survival, but of connection, reverence, and peace. And as you drift toward sleep, you carry with you the warmth of the fire, the comfort of community, and the steady pulse of a world in harmony. Night has fully descended now, wrapping the world in its vast, velvety cloak. The fire's glow has softened to a gentle pulse, its warmth a quiet hum beneath the silence. Around it, the camp sleeps, bodies resting side by side, breathing in unison with the rhythm of the earth. In this deep stillness, the boundary between waking and dreaming blurs, and the mind slips into realms unseen by daylight. Sleep here is not merely a pause, but a passage, a journey into a hidden landscape where time folds, and the self expands beyond the body's confines. In these ancient nights, the dreamscape is a living world, vivid, fluid, and sacred. It is a place where the community continues to gather, where stories are told not in words, but in symbols and sensations, where the threads of past, present, and future intertwine. Within these dreams, the people wander vast forests, climb towering cliffs, and cross wide rivers, all places both familiar and mysterious. They encounter animals who speak in silent gestures, plants that shimmer with light, and stars that pulse with ancient wisdom. These visions are not puzzles to be solved, but experiences to be embraced, each one carrying a whisper of insight, a touch of healing, a call to remember. Some dreamers find themselves walking alongside ancestors long past, sharing moments of quiet companionship and guidance. Others drift through memories not their own, caught in the echoes of the tribe's collective history. There is no fear here, only a profound sense of belonging and continuity, as if the soul itself is weaving its story into the endless tapestry of existence. The darkness outside mirrors the depths within, a vast ocean of possibility and mystery. In this space, the mind sheds the constraints of logic and time, opening to a deeper awareness. Dreams flow like rivers, sometimes calm and clear, other times rushing and turbulent, always carrying the dreamer toward understanding and renewal. Throughout the night, these dream journeys are shared, not through spoken words, but through the silent language of connection. When morning comes, fragments of these nocturnal travels ripple through the waking camp, shaping thoughts, actions, and stories. But for now, the tribe rests in this sacred suspension, held by the gentle currents of the dream world. Outside the circle of firelight, the forest breathes in quiet harmony. The rustle of leaves, the call of night birds, the soft patter of small creatures weaving through underbrush, all form a delicate symphony. This music cradles the sleepers, a lullaby sung by the earth itself. It reminds them that even in stillness, life is vibrant and ever-moving. In this moment, time itself seems to pause, folding in on itself like a spiral shell. Past and future blur into one continuous present, where each breath is a thread linking the individual to the whole. The sense of self expands, reaching beyond the physical, touching the unseen forces that shape existence. You, resting in this shared dream space, may begin to feel yourself dissolve into the night's embrace. The steady rhythm of your breath sensing with the pulse of the earth beneath you, the veil between your waking mind and deeper consciousness thinning, inviting you to journey inward. Here, there is no rush, no urgency, only the slow unfolding of awareness. The gentle exploration of the soul's vast landscape. Let your thoughts drift like leaves on a quiet stream, carried effortlessly by the current of night. Allow sensations to arise without judgment or resistance, welcoming each image, feeling, or memory as a guest in your inner world. Trust in the journey, knowing it leads you toward healing, insight, and peace. The story continues to flow through this dream realm, ancient and timeless, weaving together the lives and spirits of those who have come before and those who will follow. It is a reminder that we are all connected by blood, by breath, by story, and by the quiet mysteries of sleep. As the night deepens, so too does your rest. Your body softens, your mind quiets, and your spirit settles into the vast, dark embrace. Here, in the silence between heartbeats, you find refuge, a place to heal, to dream, and to prepare for the light that will come. And when dawn finally breaks, it will carry with it the gentle glow of renewal, the promise of new stories yet to be told. But for now, surrender to the night, to the dreams, to the endless, peaceful journey within. The first pale fingers of dawn stretch slowly across the horizon, brushing the sky with soft hues of lavender and rose. The world stirs gently from the depths of night, wrapped in a quiet, tender awakening. Light seeps into the forest, spilling over leaves and stones, weaving golden threads through the shadows. It is a moment both fragile and profound, the threshold between the mystery of sleep and the clarity of day. Within the camp, the sleepers begin to shift. Eyes flutter open, catching glimpses of the awakening world beyond the eyelids. The lingering veil of dreams clings softly, like morning mist dissolving under the sun's gentle touch. Memories from the night's journey hover at the edges of consciousness, images, sensations, emotions, not fully grasped but felt deeply, resonating beneath the surface. Bodies stretch and flex, limbs unfolding like petals greeting the dawn. Breath deepens, slow and deliberate, sensing once again with the rhythms of the earth. Hands reach out to touch familiar textures, the rough bark of a tree trunk, the soft fur of a blanket, the coolness of the earth beneath skin. These small sensations root the waking mind in the present, grounding it gently after the vast, fluid voyage of dreams. The camp is alive with soft sounds, the rustling of furs, the quiet murmurs of greeting, the gentle laughter of children awakening to a new day. There is no hurry here, only the patient unfolding of awareness. Each movement is a step from the realm of shadow back into the realm of light, a bridge between night and day. Near the fire, embers glow faintly, a reminder of the warmth and stories shared through the long night. The flames will soon be rekindled, but for now they rest like a heartbeat beneath the ashes, steady and sure. The fire's presence is a thread connecting the past to the present, a symbol of continuity in the ever-turning cycle of time. As the people gather slowly, the first words of the day emerge soft, careful, filled with the intimacy of shared experience. These voices are not rushed or loud, but are like the gentle murmur of a stream, flowing smoothly from mouth to ear. Conversations blend reflections on dreams with plans for the day ahead, weaving together the inner and outer worlds. Children stretch and yawn, their eyes bright with wonder and curiosity. Their bodies, still light with sleep, move freely, exploring the familiar surroundings with fresh eyes. They imitate the adults, practicing skills through play, gathering twigs, mimicking hunting gestures, observing the subtle cues of the forest. Their learning is seamless, integrated into the rhythm of life itself. The adults prepare for the day with quiet purpose. Tools are gathered and inspected, baskets woven and checked, paths traced once more through the surrounding landscape. There is a deep attunement to the environment. Every sound, scent, and shadow carries meaning, guiding decisions and actions. The connection to the land is intimate and reciprocal, a dance of respect and reliance. Meals are simple but nourishing, fresh berries, roots, and small portions of preserved game. Eating is a mindful act, a ritual of gratitude for the sustenance provided by the earth and sky. The fire crackles softly, its warmth inviting connection and reflection. Around it, the community shares moments of laughter, storytelling, and silent companionship. As the sun rises higher, the forest awakens fully. Birds burst into song, their melodies layered and rich, weaving through the trees like threads of music. Insects hum softly, and the breeze stirs leaves with gentle caresses. The natural world sings its morning hymn, a vibrant soundtrack to the unfolding day. Within this awakening, there is a profound sense of renewal. The fading echoes of dreams meld with the clarity of waking, creating a fertile space for intention and action. The people move with a harmony born of deep connection to themselves, to each other, and to the world around them. You, journeying alongside them, may feel the gentle unfolding within your own being. The soft return of awareness, the settling of thoughts, the opening of senses to the light and sound that surround you. Let this moment be a quiet invitation to greet the day with openness and grace, carrying the peace of night's rest into the vibrant possibilities of daylight. The story continues, ever unfolding, like the slow rise of the sun over ancient forests and wide rivers, steady, patient, and full of quiet promise. The morning light spills warmly into the camp, gently coaxing the world into motion. The soft glow touches every surface, leaves shimmering with dew, stones warmed by the first rays, and the faces of those beginning their day. Here, in this tender hour, the pace is slow and deliberate, shaped by rhythm and ritual rather than haste or obligation. The community awakens fully, each individual moving through their morning with a practiced grace born of centuries of tradition and adaptation. There is no urgency, only purpose, as the tribe reconnects with the land and with each other. The subtle hum of life pulses softly through the air, a quiet symphony of motion and sound. The first task is often the tending of the fire. From the glowing embers left through the night, sparks are coaxed once more into flames. The fire is the heart of the camp, its warmth offering comfort and a gathering point. Its smoke rises in gentle spirals, carrying prayers and gratitude to the sky. The tending is a quiet ritual, a way of honoring the continuity between night and day, past and future. Food preparation follows naturally. Women move with skill and care, sorting through gathered roots, berries, and seeds. Hands that have woven baskets and crafted tools now sift and wash the earth's offerings. There is a deep understanding here, an intimate knowledge of the seasons and the landscape's bounty. Each item is treated with respect, its potential to nourish honored in every motion. Children watch and learn, their eyes wide with curiosity and eagerness. They mimic the adults' movements, practicing the delicate art of gathering and preparation through play. Their laughter is soft but bright, weaving through the quiet moments like sunlight through leaves. Their presence is a reminder of continuity, the living thread that connects past generations to those yet to come. Men prepare their tools with quiet focus, checking the sharpness of blades and the balance of spears. The hunt is never taken lightly. It is both a responsibility and a sacred act. Their movements are precise, their attention keen, as they prepare to engage with the forest's rhythms and challenges. The respect they hold for their prey is reflected in every measured breath and careful gesture. As the camp readies itself, social bonds are woven anew. Conversations rise and fall in gentle waves, discussions about the day's plans, reflections on the night's dreams, exchanges of news and observations from the forest. These interactions are soft and respectful, underscored by mutual care and a shared commitment to the community's well-being. The natural world outside the camp is vibrant with morning energy. Birds sing in complex melodies, insects buzz softly among the flowers, and the breeze carries scents of pine and wild herbs. The people move in harmony with these rhythms, their actions mirroring the cycles of light and life surrounding them. Children begin their own explorations, guided by the gentle watchfulness of elders and parents. Their games are lessons in disguise, teaching skills of observation, stealth, and understanding. Through these playful moments, knowledge is passed down without words, a living, breathing tradition. Elders offer quiet wisdom, their voices low and steady as they recount stories from the past. These narratives are woven into the fabric of the morning, connecting the community to its roots and offering guidance for the challenges ahead. Their presence is a steady anchor, grounding the day in memory and meaning. As the sun climbs higher, the camp's energy grows with it. Movements become more purposeful, the tasks of survival and care unfolding naturally in the light. Yet throughout there is a profound sense of balance between action and stillness, effort and ease, individual and group. You, moving alongside this ancient community, may feel yourself drawn into the rhythm of the morning. The slow unfolding of tasks, the gentle exchange of glances and words, the quiet joy of shared purpose. Let this moment fill you with calm and clarity, a steady breath amidst the noise of the world. The story flows onward, a continuous thread weaving through time and space, binding you to the earth, to the ancestors, and to the dawn of each new day. As the morning sun climbs steadily higher, casting warm light across the dense forest canopy, the camp begins to pulse with a quiet, purposeful energy. The slow, unhurried rhythm of dawn unfolds into the gentle bustle of communal labor, where every action, every movement, carries with it a deep connection to the land and to one another. This is a time when the tribe comes together to weave the fabric of their survival, guided by instinct, tradition, and a profound respect for the world around them. The tasks of the day are shared and balanced with care. Men and women, elders and children, all play their part in the ongoing dance of life. The tools once sharpened are now gathered and prepared for use. Spears are checked, shafts straightened, and stone tips carefully fastened with sinew, each a testament to patient craftsmanship and intimate knowledge of materials. Baskets woven from flexible branches and plant fibers are filled with provisions, ready to support the day's journey beyond the camp. The preparations for the hunt are meticulous and deliberate. There is no rush, no careless haste. The forest is alive with hidden signs and subtle rhythms, and the tribe moves in harmony with its pulse. Before setting out, the community gathers briefly to share intentions, to offer silent thanks to the animals, whose lives will intertwine with their own in this sacred exchange. These moments are solemn and quiet, underscored by a shared awareness of the balance between taking and giving. Children watch closely, absorbing the nuances of these rituals. Their eyes gleam with curiosity and reverence as elders demonstrate how to track footprints in the soft earth, how to read the direction of the wind, and how to listen to the faintest sounds carried on the breeze. These lessons are woven seamlessly into the flow of the morning, passed not through words alone, but through shared experience and patient observation. As the hunters move into the shadows of the forest, their steps are soft and measured, blending seamlessly with the natural world. Every rustle of leaves, every snapped twig, is both a signal and a question, a dialogue with the unseen creatures that dwell among the trees. Their senses are attuned to the subtlest shifts, the glint of a distant eye, the barely perceptible scent of movement, the whisper of a bird startled into flight. This is a dance of respect and skill, a partnership between human and nature that has evolved over countless generations. Back at the camp, those who remain tend to the ongoing work of daily life. Women sort through gathered plants and roots, preparing them for meals or medicinal use. The hands that cradle newborns also weave baskets, mend clothing, and prepare hides for warmth and shelter. The community's strength lies in this shared responsibility, where each task, no matter how small, contributes to the whole. The natural world continues its quiet symphony all around. The calls of birds punctuate the air, insects buzz softly among the foliage, and the sun filters through the leaves in shifting patterns of light and shade. The people move with a rhythm that echoes this symphony, their actions flowing in tune with the cycles of life that surround them. Social bonds are nurtured throughout the day. Conversations are low and steady, woven from stories, observations, and the subtle exchanges of gestures and glances. Trust is built not in grand declarations, but in countless small acts, sharing food, helping a child climb a steep bank, offering a reassuring touch. The community thrives on this invisible web of care and connection. As midday approaches, the hunters return, sometimes empty-handed, sometimes carrying the fruits of their skill and patience. Their arrival is met with quiet anticipation and gratitude, no matter the outcome. The hunt is never taken for granted. It is a sacred act that sustains the body and spirit alike. Together, the tribe prepares a communal meal, sharing the bounty and renewing their bonds through the simple act of breaking bread, or in this case, breaking the fruits of forest and hunt. The fire crackles softly, its warmth a steady presence, as stories and laughter ripple through the group. The day's work is acknowledged not with fanfare but with gentle appreciation, a silent understanding of the delicate balance they maintain. In these moments, you may feel the deep harmony of this ancient life, a harmony born not from dominion over the land but from living within its embrace. The slow cadence of shared labor and quiet celebration carries a profound lesson, that survival is intertwined with respect, patience, and connection. As the sun climbs high, flooding the forest with golden light, the story unfolds still further, a continuous thread woven through time, binding you to the earth, to the ancestors, and to the enduring dance of life. The afternoon settles over the forest like a gentle breath, softening the edges of the day and inviting a slower pace. The sun, having passed its zenith, casts a mellow light that filters through the leaves in shifting patterns, dappling the earth with warmth and shade. In this quiet hour, the camp exhales, moving from the steady rhythm of morning tasks into a more fluid dance of rest, connection, and quiet reflection. Within the circle of shelter, people settle into moments of calm. Bodies that carried tools, gathered food, and tracked prey now find repose beneath the canopy's gentle protection. Some recline on woven mats or soft moss, eyes closed against the light, surrendering to the soothing embrace of the forest's sounds, the distant call of birds, the whisper of leaves stirred by a playful breeze, the subtle murmur of a nearby stream. These sounds are not distractions but companions, waving a lullaby that cradles the spirit. Social bonds deepen in this shared stillness. Conversations, when they arise, are low and intimate, soft voices blending with the natural chorus. Stories told here are gentle and meandering, reflections on the day's experiences, memories of past seasons, or the quiet musings of elders who have seen the world turn many times. Laughter emerges like a delicate thread, weaving lightness into the fabric of the afternoon. Children, unburdened by the duties of the day, explore the camp's edges with wide-eyed wonder. Their play is a dance of discovery, tracking insects among the leaves, chasing sunbeams that flicker through branches, or simply lying still to watch clouds drift lazily across the sky. Through play, they learn the subtle language of the forest, the rhythms of life that will one day guide them as adults. Rest is not mere idleness here, but a vital part of the day's flow. Muscles relax and minds quiet, allowing energy to replenish and senses to sharpen. This pause holds space for connection not just between people, but between humans and the living world that cradles them. Hands reach out to touch bark or soil, grounding the spirit in the earth's steady presence. Within the camp, small rituals emerge organically. A woman may crush fragrant herbs, their scent rising to mingle with the earth's aroma, using them to soothe a tired muscles or ease a child's restless mind. An elder might hum a quiet tune, its melody weaving through the stillness like a thread of warmth. These acts are intimate expressions of care, invisible yet deeply felt. The natural world pulses gently all around. Birds sing in soft harmonies, insects hum their steady drones, and the breeze carries whispers of distant trees. This symphony is woven into the community's daily life, a constant reminder of their place within a vast, interconnected web. Listening becomes an art, a form of respect and attunement that guides actions and nurtures harmony. As the afternoon stretches onward, the people engage in small tasks that blend work and rest. A basket might be mended, a hide softened, or a firewood pile tidied, all done with deliberate care, mindful of preserving energy while tending to the needs of the group. These moments are meditative, the repetitive motions a kind of silent prayer. Trust and cooperation are the invisible threads that bind the community. Acts of kindness ripple outward, a hand offered to help stand, a shared smile, a whispered encouragement. These gestures weave a fabric of belonging that holds each person steady through the ebbs and flows of life. The sun's light softens further as it begins its slow descent toward the horizon, bathing the forest in hues of gold and amber. Shadows lengthen, and the air cools slightly, carrying the faint scent of blooming flowers and damp earth. The day's rhythm gently shifts, preparing the camp for the transition into evening. You, accompanying this ancient community in spirit, may feel the soft pulse of rest settling within yourself. The invitation to slow, to breathe deeply, to connect with the quiet world around you. Let this moment be a sanctuary, a space where worries dissolve, and the steady heartbeat of life can be heard clearly. The story unfolds like the fading light, patient and sure, weaving through the lives and dreams of those who came before and those who will follow. It is a tale of balance between movement and stillness, between solitude and togetherness and sky. The sun dips lower, painting the sky with hues of burnt orange and soft purples, signaling the day's gentle farewell. The forest begins to exhale as the warm golden light fades into a cool, soothing dusk. The air carries a subtle chill, touched by the promise of night, while shadows stretch and mingle beneath the canopy, wrapping the world in a quiet embrace. Within the camp, a familiar rhythm returns, a slow wending down, a careful preparation for the hours of darkness ahead. The people move with deliberate calm, their bodies eased from the day's labors and their minds softened by the fading light. Tasks once urgent now flow gently, like a whispered melody. The fire, which has kept a steady flame through the afternoon, is nurtured with fresh kindling and tender strokes of breath, coaxing the embers back into a glowing heart. Its warmth offers comfort, a beacon of safety and connection as the forest grows hushed. Gathered near the fire's glow, the community comes together, drawn by the primal need for shared presence. Faces illuminated by flickering light reflect contentment, relief, and the subtle joy of belonging. The circle formed is more than just a physical gathering. It is a sacred space where stories, wisdom, and solace are exchanged without hurry or expectation. Evening rituals unfold naturally, as they have for countless generations. Some tend to their bodies, rubbing aching muscles with fragrant herbs, or gently wrapping wounds with carefully prepared poultices. These acts of care are intimate and essential, honoring the fragility and resilience of the human form. Others focus on preparing food for the night, roasting roots and small game over the flames, their aromas mingling with the forest's dusk scents. Children sit quietly, eyes wide and attentive, absorbing the stories told by elders whose voices rise and fall like the forest's own breath. Tales of ancestors, lessons woven into myth, and reflections on the day's adventures create a tapestry of connection between past and present. Laughter and whispers weave through the group, lightening the air with gentle warmth. The natural world responds in kind. Night creatures stir from their hidden places, their calls adding new layers to the evening symphony. Crickets chirp steadily, owls hoot softly, and the rustle of small animals moving through underbrush punctuates the quiet. The community listens with respect, attuned to these signals as part of the ongoing dialogue between humans and nature. Small gestures speak volumes in this tender hour. Hands reach out to touch, comforting or reassuring. Shared glances convey understanding and support. The circle's energy is one of unity, woven through countless silent exchanges that bind individuals into a whole. This communion is a source of strength, anchoring each person in the shared experience of belonging. As darkness deepens, the fire's light becomes more pronounced, casting dancing shadows that flicker like spirits among the trees. The cool air encourages bodies to draw closer, seeking warmth and safety in proximity. Blankets made from soft hides are wrapped tighter, and the scent of smoke mingles with earth and skin, grounding the senses. The transition to night is marked not by fear but by reverence. The people honor the cycles of day and night, understanding them as essential rhythms in the web of life. The approaching darkness is embraced as a time for rest, reflection, and renewal. It is a pause in the endless flow of existence, a sacred space to gather strength for what lies ahead. You, resting within the circle of ancient wisdom, may feel the steady slowing of your own pulse, the gentle ebb of tension, the softening of thought, and the deepening of breath. This moment invites surrender to the night, to rest, to the slow unfolding of peace. The story continues, carried on the wings of dusk and whispered in the rustle of leaves. It is a story of resilience, connection, and the quiet power of belonging. As the night wraps the world in its embrace, you are held gently in its timeless arms, ready to journey into the restful depths ahead. The night deepens into its timeless embrace, wrapping the world in a velvet darkness dotted with distant stars. Around the dwindling fire, embers glow softly, their faint light casting flickering shadows that dance silently across the faces of those now resting. The camp has settled into a profound stillness, a sacred pause where time feels both suspended and eternal. It is in this quiet that the true journey of night unfolds, beneath the surface of consciousness and beyond the reach of waking thought. As the tribe sleeps, their breaths slow and deepen, sinking into the steady rhythm of night. The body relaxes fully, muscles softened and heartbeats measured, while the mind embarks on its own voyage into the realms of dreams. Here, beneath the vast canopy of stars, the boundary between the physical and the spiritual blurs, inviting passage into hidden worlds of meaning and mystery. Dreams rise like gentle tides, carrying the sleepers into landscapes woven from memory, emotion, and ancient symbols. These nocturnal journeys are vibrant and fluid, places where past and present intertwine, where animals speak in riddles, and where the very essence of life pulses in vivid colors and shapes. Within these visions, the community remains connected, their spirits entwined in a shared experience that transcends individual boundaries. Some wander through familiar forests bathed in moonlight, tracing paths known only to their souls. Others find themselves in realms of shimmering light or shadow, encountering guides and ancestors who offer wisdom, comfort, or challenge. These nocturnal encounters are not random, but woven with intention, carrying messages that echo the tribe's collective history and hopes. Throughout the night, subtle rituals continue in the silence. The watchful few who remain near the fire tend the embers with reverence, ensuring its steady glow never fades completely. The fire is both protector and witness, a living presence that guards the boundaries between worlds and anchors the camp in safety. Its warmth is a balm, a steady pulse in the deep quiet. Outside the circle of firelight, the forest breathes with its own life. The soft rustle of leaves, the distant call of an owl, the gentle stir of small creatures moving unseen. These sounds compose a symphony of night, a melody both ancient and alive. The people listen not just with their ears but with their hearts, attuned to the subtle language of the natural world. In this space, the silence is rich and full, a fertile ground where healing and transformation quietly unfold. The night invites surrender to darkness, to mystery, to the unknown depths within. It is a time when wounds begin to mend, when the soul replenishes its strength, and when the invisible threads that bind the community are strengthened. Even in rest, connections ripple through the group. The shared dreamscape binds each person in a web of understanding and empathy. Emotions and insights travel silently, weaving patterns of support and guidance that will be carried into the waking day. This nocturnal communion is a vital part of the tribe's resilience, a hidden thread in the fabric of survival. You, journeying with them in spirit, may feel yourself drawn into this vast nightscape. The steady rhythm of breath, the quiet unfolding of dreams, and the deep sense of peace that arises from belonging to something greater than oneself. Here, in the darkness, the mind softens and the soul stretches wide, embracing the infinite. The story flows on like a river beneath the moonlight, constant, deep, and ever-changing. It is a tale of endurance, of connection, and of the sacred dance between light and shadow. As the night carries you onward, you are held gently in its timeless currents, moving toward the dawn of renewal and the promise of a new day. The first soft hues of dawn stretch across the horizon, gently pulling the night's veil aside to reveal the promise of a new day. The sky transforms from deep indigo to soft pastel shades of pink and gold, bathing the forest in a tender glow. This moment is delicate and profound, a quiet invitation to awaken slowly, to emerge from the depths of rest into the gentle light of morning. Within the camp, the stillness of night begins to shift. Breaths deepen and bodies stir, as the tribe slowly rouses from their dreams. Eyes flutter open, catching glimpses of the awakening world beyond the lids, a world shimmering with dew, alive with soft bird calls, and fragrant with the scent of damp earth and fresh leaves. The remnants of the night's journey linger like whispers, soft and elusive, just at the edge of consciousness. Limbs stretch and flex, reaching outward as if to greet the sun's gentle touch. Muscles unfurl after hours of stillness, inviting movement with a slow and deliberate grace. Hands brush away stray leaves or adjust the soft coverings that shield from the morning chill. These simple motions root the waking mind in the present moment, bridging the gap between dream and reality with quiet reverence. Around the fire pit, the last embers of the night's flame glow faintly, offering warmth and comfort in the cool dawn air. The fire's steady heartbeat serves as a silent anchor, grounding the community in the shared experience of waking. With practiced care, kindling is gathered and coaxed to life, sparks igniting into dancing flames that chase away the lingering chill. The camp stirs gently to life, voices low and soothing as greetings are exchanged. There is no rush, only a peaceful unfolding, a measured easing into the day. Conversations weave together reflections on dreams, plans for the hours ahead, and quiet expressions of gratitude for the gift of another morning. These exchanges are soft and intimate, like threads weaving the fabric of connection and belonging. Children, eyes still heavy with sleep, begin their own morning rituals. Their small bodies move with curious energy, stretching, yawning, exploring the familiar world with fresh wonder. Playful laughter bubbles up as they mimic the actions of adults, practicing skills through gentle games that blend learning and joy. Their presence infuses the camp with lightness and hope. The adults attend to the needs of the day with steady purpose. Tools are checked and repaired, baskets are woven or gathered from storage, and paths are revisited with quiet attentiveness. Every action is informed by an intimate knowledge of the land, a deep attunement to the seasons, the weather, and the rhythms of the forest. This harmony guides their steps, creating a seamless flow between human life and natural world. Meals are prepared thoughtfully, each ingredient chosen with care and respect. The community gathers to share simple sustenance, berries plucked from bushes, roots carefully cooked over the fire, and the occasional preserved morsel from the hunt. Eating is a mindful ritual, a moment of connection to the earth's generosity and to one another. The warmth of the fire and the softness of shared presence nourish both body and spirit. Outside the circle of human life, the forest awakens fully. Birds burst into song, their melodies rich and layered, filling the air with music that lifts the spirit. Insects hum among the foliage, and the breeze carries scents of pine, wildflowers, and fresh rain. The natural world and the human community move in concert, each responding to the other in a dance as old as time. Throughout the camp, social bonds are strengthened by small acts of care and attention. A helping hand offered to steady a child, a shared smile exchanged across the fire, a whispered word of encouragement, all weave a tapestry of trust and belonging. These connections form the invisible web that supports the tribe's resilience and vitality. As the sun climbs higher, its light warming the earth and stirring the senses, the community prepares to step fully into the day's rhythm. The stories of the night are folded gently into memory, their lessons carried forward like precious seeds. The promise of new experiences, challenges, and joys awaits, held within the steady flow of life and time. You, walking alongside this ancient people in spirit, may feel the gentle unfolding within yourself, the soft return of awareness, the settling of thoughts, the opening of senses to the vibrant world around you. Let this moment be an offering of peace and readiness, a quiet breath before the day's unfolding story continues. The journey goes on, a thread unbroken through the ages. waving you ever deeper into the timeless embrace of earth, sky, and community. As the sun arcs higher in the sky, bathing the forest in a warm, steady light, the camp hums softly with renewed energy. The languid tranquility of morning gives way to purposeful motion as the community engages in the myriad tasks that sustain their lives. Each movement is imbued with intention, every gesture a thread woven into the intricate tapestry of daily existence. Here, in this ancient world, survival is not a frantic struggle, but a measured dance with nature's rhythms, a harmony born from centuries of attunement and respect. The men and women move with quiet focus, their bodies supple and strong from years of adapting to the demands of their environment. Some venture into the surrounding woodlands to gather materials for shelter repair or tool making. Their hands, skilled and sure, select branches with care, their eyes sharp for the perfect curves and textures. The rustle of leaves and the snap of twigs accompany their footsteps, blending seamlessly with the chorus of bird calls and insect hums. Meanwhile, others tend to the vital work of food preparation and preservation. Baskets brimming with fresh roots, wild berries, and forage greens are carefully sorted and cleaned. The subtle art of drying and smoking food over low fires is practiced with patience and precision, a knowledge passed down through generations. These efforts ensure sustenance during leaner times, weaving foresight into the fabric of daily life. Children, their spirits buoyant with curiosity and joy, participate eagerly in the day's flow. Their games mimic the essential skills of adulthood: tracking, gathering, crafting, though softened by the innocence of play. Elders watch over them with gentle smiles, offering guidance and gentle corrections, nurturing the next generation's growth, not only in body but in wisdom. Social interactions weave a rich undercurrent through the day's activities. Conversations are punctuated by laughter and the exchange of observations, the discovery of a rare herb, a change in the weather's scent, or the distant call of a migrating bird. These moments, though seemingly small, are vital to the community's cohesion, reinforcing bonds of trust and shared understanding. The forest itself responds to the day's unfolding drama. Sunlight filters through layers of leaves, creating shifting mosaics of light and shadow on the forest floor. The scent of pine and earth rises on a gentle breeze, mingling with the faint aroma of cooking fires. Animals move quietly through the underbrush, their presence sensed more often than seen, a reminder of the delicate balance maintained between hunter and hunted. Throughout the camp, there is an unspoken respect for this balance. Tools are handled with care, waste is minimized, and every resource is valued. This ethos permeates the community, a silent covenant with the land that sustains them. It is a relationship of reciprocity, giving back as much as taking, honoring the earth's generosity with humility and gratitude. As midday approaches, the pace of life shifts once more. Tasks that require collective effort are undertaken with shared focus and cooperation. Whether building a shelter's framework, repairing a fishing net, or preparing communal meals, the tribe moves as one organism, each individual's strength contributing to the whole. This collective rhythm is a testament to the power of unity and shared purpose. Meals are moments of pause and connection. Gathered around the fire, the community shares food, stories, and laughter. The act of eating together transcends mere nourishment. It is a ritual of gratitude, a reaffirmation of bonds, and a moment of joy amidst the demands of survival. The warmth of the fire and the softness of shared presence nurture both body and soul. In the heat of the afternoon, a natural lull descends. Some seek shade beneath towering trees, resting weary limbs and quieting minds. Others engage in quiet crafts, carving tools, weaving baskets, or tending to personal adornments. These moments of stillness are woven seamlessly into the day's fabric, offering balance and renewal. You, walking beside this ancient community in spirit, may sense the deep harmony that guides their movements. The fluid integration of work and rest, the unspoken connection to the living world, and the gentle strength of shared purpose. Let yourself be carried by this rhythm, finding peace in the unfolding dance of life. As the sun begins its slow descent, the day's story continues to unfold steady, patient, and rich with meaning. Each breath, each step, a thread in the endless tapestry of human existence, woven through time and space, connecting you to the earth, to ancestors, and to the promise of tomorrow. As the sun begins its slow descent toward the horizon, the golden light softens, casting long, gentle shadows across the forest floor. The warmth of the day mellows into a tender coolness, and the air takes on the delicate scent of earth and foliage settling into evening. This time, the threshold between day and night carries with it a quiet magic, a moment when the world breathes deeply, preparing to fold into rest and renewal. Within the camp, the rhythm shifts subtly but unmistakably. The steady pace of daytime tasks eases into a more reflective, communal energy. Movements become slower, more deliberate, as the people gather their strength and turn their attention toward closing the day's chapter. There is a shared understanding here, an unspoken agreement that this time is sacred, a bridge between the work of survival and the sanctuary of rest. Hands that were busy with crafting, gathering, or mending begin to slow, fingers tracing familiar patterns in the worn wood or soft fibers. The fire, a steadfast companion throughout the day, is rekindled with tender care, flames leaping and flickering as they welcome the approaching darkness. Its warmth gathers the camp, creating a circle of light and safety amid the encroaching shadows. Food preparation takes on a communal quality. The bounty collected and hunted during the day is transformed into nourishing meals, each step an act of care and respect. The aroma of roasting roots, smoked fish, or freshly baked bread mingles with the crisp evening air, inviting bodies to gather and spirits to lift. This shared feast is more than sustenance. It is a ritual of gratitude, a celebration of the earth's gifts and the community's perseverance. Children, their energy waning but still vibrant, cluster near elders who weave tales as timeless as the stars beginning to prick the sky. These stories are soft and soothing legends of ancestors, lessons veiled in metaphor, and reflections on the cycles that govern life. Their voices rise and fall like the gentle breeze, drawing young and old alike into a shared space of wonder and connection. The social fabric of the tribe is most visible now, woven from countless small interactions. A hand offered to steady a friend, a quiet word exchanged in the firelight, a shared smile that speaks of belonging and trust. These moments, subtle yet profound, form the bedrock of communal strength. They remind each person that they are part of a whole, bound by history, care, and mutual reliance. Nature itself participates in the evening's unfolding symphony. The calls of nocturnal creatures begin to thread through the forest's quiet, owls hooting softly, crickets chirping in rhythmic harmony, and the rustle of small animals moving in hidden paths. The gentle wind carries the scent of blooming night flowers and damp earth, blending sensory notes that ground the community in the living world around them. As twilight deepens, rituals of closure and preparation for rest take their place. Tools and weapons are carefully cleaned and stored, their surfaces gleaming softly in the firelight. Clothing and hides are arranged to dry or protect against the coming chill. The physical environment is readied with the same care as the bodies it shelters, a testament to the tribe's intimate bond with their surroundings. Elders lead quiet ceremonies that honor the day's passing and the promise of the night. These moments are filled with reverence and reflection, a chance to release worries and invite peace. Sometimes a chant rises, slow and steady, weaving through the camp like a protective cloak. Other times, silence holds sway, powerful in its simplicity. Within this sacred space, each person finds their own rhythm unwinding. Some sit close to the fire, their faces softened by flickering light and thoughtful gaze. Others seek solitude beneath the canopy, where shadows mingle with stars. The shared heartbeat of the community slows, synchronizing with the earth's own pulse as night approaches. You, walking alongside this ancient people in spirit, may sense the delicate balance of this moment, the harmony between closure and anticipation, between action and stillness. Let yourself be drawn into the soft cadence of evening, feeling the layers of connection, gratitude, and renewal unfold within. The story continues its gentle flow, a timeless river winding through generations, carrying the lessons and love of those who lived long before and those yet to come. As the day fades, you are held tenderly in the embrace of earth and sky, ready to step fully into the mystery and magic of night. The night deepens into a profound stillness, wrapping the camp in a blanket of calm that stretches far beyond the flickering firelight. Darkness has settled fully, yet it is not emptiness, but a living presence rich, mysterious, and vast. Here, under the vault of countless stars, the community embraces the sacred rhythm of night, moving gently with the pulse of the earth and sky. Around the dying embers of the fire, soft murmurs give way to silence. The voices that once wove stories and laughter now rest, replaced by the subtle sounds of breathing, shifting bodies, and the whisper of leaves stirred by a cool breeze. This silence is not lonely but full of quiet dialogue between the seen and unseen, the waking and dreaming. Night rituals unfold in this hallowed space, subtle and profound. Elders keep watch, their eyes reflecting the fire's glow as they tend the fading flames with reverence. Their presence is a protective thread, binding the camp together through the night's vulnerability. They whisper prayers or chants, ancient words passed down through generations, calling for safety, balance, and renewal. The community's connection to the natural world is most palpable now. The chorus of nocturnal creatures rises a symphony of crickets, owls, and distant howls, each call a note in the grand harmony of the night. The people listen deeply, attuned to the forest's language, sensing shifts in the wind or distant movements that signal the ever-changing dance of life and survival. Within the darkness, there is a gentle awareness of cycles of light and shadow, rest and wakefulness, life and transformation. This awareness shapes the tribe's relationship with night as a time not just of rest, but of subtle renewal and insight. The veil between worlds feels thinner, inviting dreams and visions that carry meaning beyond the ordinary. Some in the community engage in quiet personal rituals. A touch upon the earth, a soft breath into the night air, or a moment of stillness gazing upward at the stars. These acts anchor them in the present while reaching toward the eternal, a sacred balance of grounding and transcendence. The night becomes a bridge between the tangible and the mystical. Children, nestled close to their caregivers, drift into sleep with trust and ease, comforted by the steady presence of the tribe. Their dreams mingle with the night's mystery, weaving stories that will nourish their growth and spirit. The protective circle formed by the community's care is a shelter where even the smallest lives are cherished and safeguarded. Throughout the night, the camp breathes as one. The rhythm of heartbeats, the cadence of breathing, and the subtle movements of bodies create an invisible current of life. This shared energy flows gently, a quiet testament to the strength found in unity and connection. Even in stillness, the community is alive, held together by bonds woven through time and experience. The stars above tell their own stories, ancient and constant. Their light filters through the canopy, dappling the earth in silver patterns that shift with the night's passage. Gazing upward, one feels the vastness of the cosmos and the delicate place humanity holds within it, a humbling and inspiring presence that invites awe and reflection. You, journeying in spirit alongside this ancient tribe, may sense the deep peace that permeates the night. The soft surrender to darkness, the gentle unfolding of dreams, and the quiet strength found in belonging. Let yourself be carried on this current of calm, where every breath is a meditation and every heartbeat a prayer. The story continues its timeless flow, a river of life winding through shadow and light, past and future, awakening and sleep. As the night holds you tenderly, you are invited to rest within its embrace, knowing that with dawn will come renewal and the promise of a new chapter. The first gentle whispers of dawn stir the world awake, casting a pale blush across the horizon as night slowly relinquishes its hold. The forest, still wrapped in a cool embrace, begins to shimmer with the soft light of early morning. Leaves glisten with dew, and a subtle chorus of birdsong rises, tentative and delicate, announcing the arrival of a new day. This hour is fragile and sacred, a bridge between darkness and light, sleep and wakefulness. Within the heart of the camp, the stillness of night begins to ripple with life. Eyes flutter open, stretching into the dim glow that seeps through woven shelters and leafy canopies. Bodies unfurl from their restful poses, muscles easing into movement after hours of quiet repose. The air is crisp, carrying the scent of moist earth and fresh greenery, a sensory reminder of the cycle's continuity. The fire, tended carefully through the night, flickers faintly, its embers glowing with a persistent warmth. Hands reach out to coax flames back to life, sparking gentle tongues of fire that chase away the lingering chill. This renewal of light and heat mirrors the awakening within the people, a rekindling of energy and spirit after the night's deep rest. Soft voices break the dawn's silence with quiet greetings and shared reflections on dreams and the night's mysteries. There is no rush, only a measured, mindful rising that honors the body's need for gradual transition. These morning exchanges are a gentle weaving of connection, grounding each individual in the community's shared journey. Children stretch and yawn, their small bodies bursting with the restless joy of new beginnings. Their eyes, bright and curious, scan the familiar surroundings with fresh wonder, eager to explore the possibilities that the day holds. Playful laughter bubbles up as they mimic the actions of elders, practicing skills essential to survival through games of discovery and imitation. Adults prepare for the day's tasks with practiced grace. Tools are gathered and inspected, food stores reviewed, and paths traced with careful attention to the landscape's subtle changes. This intimate knowledge of the environment is a cornerstone of the community's survival, cultivated through keen observation and shared wisdom. Meals are shared in quiet ritual, a moment to nourish the body and fortify bonds. The simple fare of roots, berries, and whatever the hunt has provided is eaten slowly, with gratitude for the earth's generosity. The fire's warmth and the comfort of togetherness make this meal more than sustenance. It is a ceremony of life, resilience, and hope. Outside the camp, the forest awakens fully. Birds sing in harmonious layers. Insects buzz in gentle patterns, and a soft breeze carries the mingled scents of pine, wild flowers, and damp soil. This natural symphony intertwines with the human rhythms, creating a harmonious dance between people and place. Throughout the morning, small acts of kindness and cooperation weave the social fabric tighter. A helping hand steadies a child, a shared smile crosses faces, and soft words of encouragement flow freely. These moments, seemingly simple, are vital threads in the tapestry of communal strength and trust. As the sun climbs higher, its light grows stronger, casting the world in clear, vibrant hues. The community embraces the day's flow with quiet confidence, moving as one with the land that nurtures them. Each breath, each step, is a continuation of an ancient story, one of endurance, connection, and the timeless dance between humanity and nature. You walking alongside this tribe in spirit may feel the gentle unfolding of life within yourself, the soft awakening of senses, the calming of thoughts, and the steady rhythm of breath. Let this morning's quiet beauty fill you with peace and readiness, preparing you for the journey ahead. The story flows onward, endless and enduring, a river weaving through time and space, carrying the wisdom of those who came before and the promise of those yet to come. As light spreads across the forest floor, you are held gently within this eternal embrace, ready to continue the path of discovery and belonging. The sun reaches its zenith, pouring warm, golden light through the thick canopy and setting the forest floor aglow with dancing patches of brightness. At this height of the day, the rhythm of life pulses steadily and deliberately, a harmonious blend of quiet labor, shared moments, and attuned connection to the world around. The camp is alive with a gentle buzz, as every member of the community moves in sync with nature's timeless cadence. Within the heart of the settlement, activities unfold with calm purpose. Skilled hands shape tools and weave baskets, creating objects both practical and beautiful, their utility grounded in a deep understanding of the materials and their environment. The steady beat of crafting, the scraping of stone, the soft rustle of fibers blends with the natural chorus, forming a symphony of human ingenuity harmonizing with wilderness. Food gathering continues, guided by the intimate knowledge of seasonal cycles and animal habits. Some set out toward familiar patches of ripe berries or tender shoots, their footsteps careful and light to avoid disturbing hidden creatures. Others return from short hunts, bringing back fresh game or fish, their success greeted with quiet satisfaction and shared smiles. Every morsel is valued, the bounty of the land honored through mindful collection and preparation. Children remain active participants in this vibrant web of life. Their laughter ripples like sunlight on water as they chase one another through the trees, testing their agility and growing strength. But play is also practice. Mimicry of adults' tasks teaches essential survival skills in a joyful guise. Elders watch with fond eyes, their guidance gentle but firm, nurturing the growth of knowledge, resilience, and community spirit in the youngest members. Conversation flows easily among the tribe, voices mingling in soft exchanges that carry news, observations, and stories. Shared wisdom passes fluidly, a living thread connecting generations. Discussions about the weather, the movements of animals, or changes in plant life shape plans for the coming days. These moments of collective awareness strengthen the community's ability to adapt and thrive. The natural world around responds dynamically to this interplay of human activity and wildness. Birds flit from branch to branch, their calls a cheerful soundtrack. Insects buzz industriously, pollinating flowers or weaving webs. Small mammals scurry in and out of underbrush, ever watchful and agile. The delicate balance between humans and nature is maintained through respect, knowledge, and mutual influence. In the heat of midday, the pace eases naturally. Some seek the shelter of shade beneath towering trees, resting weary limbs and cooling overheated skin. These moments of respite are integral, allowing bodies to recover and minds to refresh. Others engage in quieter crafts, carving, repairing, or preparing items for upcoming tasks. The day's flow is cyclical, weaving periods of activity with intentional pauses. Social bonds deepen through shared efforts and rituals. Communal tasks like tending fires, maintaining shelters, or preparing food require cooperation and trust. Each contribution, whether small or large, is recognized as vital to the tribe's well-being. This sense of collective responsibility nurtures a profound interconnectedness, a web of relationships that sustains through challenges and change. The air carries scents of earth and foliage, mingled with the faint aroma of smoke and cooking food. These sensory details root the community in their place and moment, a continuous dialogue between body, spirit, and environment. The land is not simply a backdrop, but an active participant in the unfolding story of life. You, moving alongside this ancient people in spirit, may feel the steady pulse of existence flowing through you, the balance of work and rest, the gentle hum of connection, and the deep harmony with the living world. Allow this rhythm to settle within, a quiet grounding that brings peace and clarity. As the sun arcs slowly toward afternoon, the narrative of the day continues its seamless journey. Each breath, step, and glance contributes to the rich mosaic of survival, belonging, and shared experience. The story carries you onward, a thread woven through time, ever unfolding and inviting you deeper into the timeless dance of life. As the sun dips lower in the sky, casting its golden rays at a gentler angle, the day begins to shift subtly but unmistakably. The heat of midday softens into a more forgiving warmth, and shadows lengthen across the forest floor, waving intricate patterns through the underbrush and over the worn earth paths. This passage of light signals a change in rhythm for the community, a time to transition from the focused labor of the day's peak toward the gathering and preparation that evening requires. The camp pulses with a renewed sense of purpose, though the pace remains calm and measured, reflecting an intuitive understanding of the balance between exertion and rest. Tasks that demand strength and concentration begin to give way to those requiring precision, care, and reflection. The air hums softly with the mingled sounds of activity, the quiet scrape of tools, the low murmur of voices, and the occasional call of birds settling into roosts. Groups of tribe members disperse through familiar stretches of forest, embarking on varied missions shaped by the day's needs. Some move with practiced ease to gather firewood, branches that have fallen naturally or been carefully pruned to maintain the health of the surrounding trees. Their footsteps are light, respectful, leaving the earth undisturbed as much as possible. The collected wood will fuel evening fires that are both practical and symbolic, sustaining life and community spirit through the night. Others turn their attention to the refinement of tools and weapons, sharpening stone blades or reinforcing spear shafts with sinew bindings. These preparations are vital, ensuring that the tribe remains equipped to meet the challenges of survival in the wild. The craftsmanship reflects deep knowledge honed over countless seasons, a blending of function, tradition, and respect for materials. Meanwhile, the foragers focus on gathering the last ripe fruits, tender shoots, and medicinal plants before dusk. Their movements are deliberate and thoughtful, guided by an intimate connection to the land and its cycles. Knowledge of which plants can be safely harvested, and when is crucial, a wisdom shared across generations and embedded in the tribe's collective memory. Within the camp, those who remain engage in quiet, reflective tasks. Baskets are woven with steady hands, fires are tended with gentle care, and children are guided through lessons that prepare them for the responsibilities of adulthood. These moments are steeped in the rhythms of daily life and the subtle transmission of culture, a living legacy passed in stories, demonstrations, and the soft cadence of everyday acts. As the afternoon deepens, conversations shift toward the coming evening. Plans are shared for meals, watch rotations, and communal gatherings that mark the transition from day to night. This planning is collaborative and inclusive, recognizing each member's role in sustaining the community's well-being and harmony. The forest itself seems to acknowledge the changing time. Birdsong softens and tapers off, replaced by the gentle rustle of nocturnal creatures stirring. The scent of damp earth rises as moisture condenses in the cooling air. Leaves shimmer with the subtle dance of fading light, creating a tapestry of shadow and glow that invites quiet reflection. The atmosphere carries a sense of gentle anticipation, a collective awareness that the day's labor is drawing to a close and the sanctuary of night approaches. This is a time for gathering strength, nurturing bonds, and honoring the cycles that govern all life. The balance between activity and rest, between engagement and withdrawal, is felt deeply and respected without words. You traveling in spirit alongside this ancient community may sense the shift within yourself, a slowing of pace, a softening of thought, and an opening of heart. The rhythms of this time invite presence and mindfulness, grounding you in the steady flow of life and time. Let the gentle unfolding of the afternoon wrap up around you like a soothing balm, preparing you for the sacred passage into evening's embrace. The story continues its unbroken current, flowing through light and shadow, work and rest, connection and solitude. Each breath you take is part of this eternal dance, linking you to those who walked these paths long ago and those who will follow. As the sun continues its descent, you are held tenderly in the timeless embrace of earth and sky, ready to witness the next chapter unfold. As the sun slips below the horizon, the sky softens into a palette of deep purples and muted oranges, heralding the arrival of evening. The camp gathers around the glowing heart of the fire, a beacon of warmth and light amid the encroaching darkness. This circle of flame is more than mere heat. It is the pulse of the community, a shared space where stories, rituals, and connection weave together the fabric of belonging. The crackling fire casts dancing shadows upon faces worn by the day's labor, yet softened by the comfort of communal presence. Sparks rise and drift upward, ephemeral stars born from wood and breath, disappearing into the night. The steady glow invites a slowing of time, an easing into reflection and togetherness. Around the fire, voices rise in gentle conversation, blending with the natural symphony of nocturnal creatures' soft hoots, distant rustlings, and the rhythmic chirping of insects. These sounds are the soundtrack to evening's quiet ritual, a reminder of the delicate balance between human life and wilderness. Elders lead the community in age-old ceremonies, their words imbued with reverence and wisdom. They speak of ancestors whose footsteps are etched into the earth beneath, of the cycles of sun and moon that govern life, and of the spirits believed to watch over the tribe. Their chants ripple through the night air, slow and steady, inviting a collective surrender to the sacred rhythms of existence. The younger members listen intently, absorbing lessons that transcend language, a transmission of culture, belief, and belonging. These moments forge a link across generations, ensuring that knowledge and tradition continue to flow, just as the fire's light passes from one hand to the next. Shared meals are taken with gratitude and mindfulness. The fruits of the day's efforts, roasted roots, tender meat, and gathered greens, nourish both body and soul. Eating together around the fire strengthens bonds and reminds all that survival is not solitary, but a dance of cooperation and care. Laughter and gentle teasing weave through the gathering, softening the weight of survival with joy and lightness. Stories unfold, some recounting heroic hunts, others sharing clever lessons or playful anecdotes. These narratives are threads in the tapestry of community identity, reinforcing values and providing comfort through shared experience. As the night deepens, quieter moments emerge. Some retreat into personal reflection, gazing upward at the vast canopy of stars that stretch endlessly overhead. The constellations, unchanging and eternal, connect the tribe to a cosmos larger than themselves, a humbling and inspiring presence that invites awe and contemplation. Others rest, their bodies settled into the earth's embrace, trusting in the safety of the circle and the watchful eyes of their kin. The fire's warmth lulls minds toward dreams, and the night carries the promise of renewal and rest. The natural world continues its own nocturnal dance. Owls glide silently overhead, insects hum in rhythmic patterns, and the forest breathes with a life unseen but deeply felt. This interplay of silence and sound, light and shadow, creates a sacred space where human and nature coexist in harmony. You, walking alongside this ancient community in spirit, may feel the profound peace that arises here, the intertwining of light and dark, work and rest. Individual and collective, let yourself be drawn into the fire's glow, carried on the whispers of stories and the steady cadence of ritual. The story flows onward, a river of time and memory, connecting past, present, and future. As embers fade and stars wheel across the night sky, you are held within the eternal embrace of earth, fire, and spirit, ready to journey into the mystery and magic of night. The night deepens into a velvet darkness, thick and enveloping, broken only by the gentle flicker of the dying fire and the pale glow of distant stars. In this quiet hour, the camp settles into a profound stillness, a fragile balance between vigilance and rest. The rhythms of survival continue to beat softly beneath the surface, a silent watch kept against unseen dangers, while bodies and spirits slowly surrender to the call of sleep. Some members of the tribe remain awake, their eyes sharp and senses alert, fulfilling the sacred duty of guardianship. These sentinels move with quiet grace, their footsteps careful not to disturb the slumbering camp. Their presence is a living shield, a testament to the collective commitment to protection and care. The soft murmur of their low conversations blends with the nocturnal chorus, a subtle reminder of life's persistence, even in the deepest darkness. The air carries the mingled scents of earth, smoke and foliage heightened in the cool night. Each breath draws in the essence of the forest's nocturnal life, a world unseen but palpably alive. Owls glide silently overhead, their keen eyes scanning the shadows, while the rhythmic chirping of insects provides a soothing backdrop to the watchful hours. Within the camp, others lie wrapped in the comforting embrace of hides and woven mats, bodies relaxed and minds adrift. The transition into sleep is gentle, a gradual loosening of the bonds that tether consciousness. Breaths deepen and slow, weaving a quiet harmony through the tribe, each individual's rest contributing to the community's collective strength. Dreams begin to stir a realm where the boundaries of time and space blur, and the wisdom of ancestors may speak in symbols and visions. These nocturnal journeys offer insight and renewal, nourishing the soul as deeply as food sustains the body. The night holds these mysteries tenderly, a sacred space for transformation and healing. Outside the circle of firelight, the forest thrives in its own secret life. Shadows lengthen and shift with unseen movements, the delicate dance of predator and prey unfolding in quiet grace. The tribe's deep knowledge of these patterns informs their own cycles of activity and rest, weaving them seamlessly into the living fabric of the wild. Soft sounds ripple through the night, a twig snapping, leaves rustling gently, the distant call of a lone animal. These are not disturbances but part of the natural symphony, a reminder of the world's continuous motion beneath the stillness. The community listens with respect and understanding, their senses attuned to every nuance. The balance between watchfulness and surrender is maintained through an unspoken agreement, a sacred trust woven through generations. Those awake honor the need for vigilance without intrusion, while those resting trust in the protection offered by their kin. This mutual respect creates a powerful current of safety and belonging. As hours pass, the night's embrace deepens, drawing all toward renewed rest and the promise of dawn. The fire's glow fades to embers, a soft pulse that mirrors the steady heartbeat of the tribe. The world holds its breath in this liminal space, suspended between darkness and light, between endings and beginnings. You, walking alongside this ancient community in spirit, may feel the profound quiet that fills the night, the gentle rhythm of protection, rest, and renewal. Let yourself be carried by this tender current, resting within the shared heartbeat of earth and sky, body and soul. The story flows onward, an endless river weaving through the cycles of life, death, and rebirth. As the night deepens, you are cradled in the timeless embrace of the wilderness, ready to awaken with the first light and continue the journey of belonging and survival. The first light of dawn stretches gently across the horizon, painting the sky with soft hues of pink and gold. The world stirs quietly, the deep night folding back like a curtain to reveal the promise of a new day. Within the forest, the air is cool and fresh, carrying the scent of dew-soaked leaves and earth, a fragrant reminder of the night's tender renewal. This sacred moment of awakening breathes life into the camp once more, coaxing bodies and spirits from their restful slumber. Within the circle of shelters and fires, eyes begin to open slowly, reflecting the soft glow of the emerging sun. Limbs stretch and unfurl, muscles easing from the stillness of night into the fluidity of movement. The gentle sounds of awakening ripple through the camp, the quiet rustle of shifting blankets, the soft murmur of greetings exchanged between kin, the delicate footsteps of those rising to greet the day. The fire, carefully maintained through the night by vigilant guardians, now flickers back to vibrant life. Flames leap and dance, their warmth inviting and reassuring, a beacon against the cool morning air. Hands skilled in the ancient art of fire keeping tend the embers, coaxing sparks to flame and renewing the hearth's steady glow. This ritual is both practical and symbolic, a reformation of life's continuity and the community's shared strength. Breakfast preparations begin with a calm rhythm. The scent of roasted roots, dried fruits, and fresh water fills the air, blending with the earthy aroma of the forest. Meals are simple yet nourishing, crafted from the earth's generous bounty and the day's earlier efforts. Eating together fosters connection and gratitude, grounding the tribe in the present while honoring the cycles that sustain them. Children energized by rest, awaken with bright eyes and lively spirits. Their laughter bubbles through the morning air as they engage in playful exploration, practicing skills vital to their future roles. Elders watch with gentle smiles, offering guidance through stories and demonstration, ensuring that knowledge and tradition flow seamlessly from one generation to the next. Throughout the camp, small acts of care and cooperation weave the social fabric tighter. A helping hand steadies a stumbling child. A shared smile bridges generations, and soft words of encouragement ripple through conversations. These moments of connection are the invisible threads that hold the community together, nurturing resilience and trust. Beyond the camp, the forest awakens fully. Birds sing in harmonious layers, insects buzz with renewed energy, and the soft rustling of leaves signals the gentle movements of wildlife beginning their daily routines. The natural world and the human community pulse together in harmonious rhythm, a seamless dance of life and survival. As the sun climbs steadily higher, its light warms the earth and uplifts spirits. The tribe embraces the days unfolding with mindful purpose and quiet confidence, moving as one within the landscape that sustains them. Each breath, each step, is a continuation of a timeless story, one of endurance, connection, and the profound relationship between humanity and the natural world. You journeying alongside this ancient people in spirit may feel the gentle awakening within yourself, the soft stirring of senses, the calming of thoughts, and the steady cadence of breath. Let this morning's light fill you with peace and readiness, preparing you for the journey ahead. The story flows onward, endless and enduring, a river weaving through time and space, carrying the wisdom of those who came before and the promise of those yet to come. As light spreads across the forest floor, you are held gently within this eternal embrace, ready to continue the path of discovery and belonging. The sun, now high in the sky, pours its warm light over the forest canopy, illuminating the world with a clarity and vibrancy that awakens every leaf and branch. The camp hums with renewed energy as the community rises to meet the demands of the day, moving with purpose and practiced grace through their familiar tasks. This midday rhythm is a delicate balance of focus and flow, where every action weaves into the larger tapestry of survival and connection. Within the heart of the settlement, hands steady and sure return to the crafting of tools and implements essential for daily life. Stones are chipped and shaped with measured strikes, fibers woven tightly into baskets and cords, and wooden shafts sharpened to a fine point. These acts of creation are both art and necessity, a testament to the tribe's intimate knowledge of their environment and the resourcefulness passed down through generations. Food gathering intensifies as the community seeks to maximize the day's bounty. Groups set out with keen eyes and quiet steps, moving to favorite spots where the forest offers its gifts, clusters of berries heavy with juice, tender shoots promising sustenance, or the careful tracking of game in dappled clearings. Each foray is a blend of patience and skill, guided by an understanding of nature's rhythms and respect for its limits. Children, ever curious and full of boundless energy, weave through the camp and surrounding woods, their play a vital thread in the fabric of learning. Games mimic the motions of hunting, gathering, and tool use, transforming the serious business of survival into joyful discovery. Elders observe and gently guide, their presence a steady anchor that nurtures growth and instills confidence. Conversations flow easily among the adults, voices low but filled with shared purpose. Plans for the coming days are discussed: where to find fresh water, which paths to explore, how to prepare for seasonal changes. This communal decision-making is vital, drawing on collective memory and keen observation to navigate the challenges of life in the wild. The natural world responds in kind to this human activity. Birds dart through shafts of sunlight, their songs weaving a lively soundtrack. Insects flit and hum, pollinating flowers or tending to their nests. Small mammals move quietly through the underbrush, each creature playing its part in the complex web of life that surrounds the camp. As the day wears on, the pace remains steady but mindful. Moments of rest are woven seamlessly into the fabric of activity: a shared smile, a brief pause to catch a breath, the simple pleasure of feeling the sun's warmth on skin. These interludes of calm sustain the community, fostering resilience and balance amid constant motion. Social bonds deepen through acts of cooperation and kindness. A hand offered to steady a friend, a word of encouragement passed between workers, a laugh shared over a small success. These gestures, though subtle, fortify the network of trust and mutual care that underpins the tribe's strength. The scents of the forest mingle with those of food being prepared, smoke rising gently from small fires tended with care. These aromas ground the community in the present, a sensory reminder of their connection to the land and to one another. You, walking alongside this ancient people in spirit, may feel the steady pulse of life within and around you, the harmony of work and rest, the quiet joy of shared purpose, and the profound bond with the natural world. Let this rhythm settle deeply within, a grounding force that brings peace and clarity. The story flows onward, a river of time weaving through light and shadow, labor and leisure, connection and solitude. Each breath you take is part of this eternal dance, linking you to those who walked these paths before and those who will follow. As the sun continues its steady arc, you are held gently in the embrace of earth and sky, ready to witness the unfolding journey of life.